ready? I'm ready too.
They are absolutely ready for this matchup. Like I said, prior to this weekend, if you asked me about these two teams facing off, who would come out ahead, my answer would be FaZe. However, Sentinels have proven again and again that they belong here at Elimination Finals, if not the finals, and they need to
I could turn up the volume
after
too
that last
if
loss
needed.
against Space Station Gaming. We're kicking off here on Argyle CTF. One thing to note
Is that
here
good?
on Argyle CTF, the one time that Sentinels have played this so far this weekend against Shopify Rebellion, they have gone 3 for 3 on flagpoles, so they seem to be very consistent. As
No,
once they get
I
the
was
flag on the face,
it was
they're
like
able to escort it
because I
back
was in
and capture.
Germany.
And they're gonna need that objective.
I watched a lot of the matches though.
FaZe are still undefeated.
I haven't seen these
Here
though,
on Capture
so
the
this will
Flag
be new
weekend.
actually.
It starts here on Argyle, game number 1.
Let me pause it here just for a second. Yeah. I mean, well, Boo Boo Doo Boo. So like going back, right? Boo Boo Doo Boo, and Fallicated and Spartan. Didn't they win a tournament for Reach with Ace? Wasn't that the squad? Hold on one sec. All right. Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, I'll send you it. It's just Gunshot TV. Yeah. I think it was Rebellion. You remember him? Yeah. Yeah. With the 8 ball and um it was first with the Killer N, and then we played with Frywatch for a little bit too. Yeah, what up, Illuminati? I was begging you to team with Snipe Down and you didn't want to. You remember that? Yeah, I mean, that happened with a lot of, like, younger players too. It was, like, hard for, like, the younger players to get to tournaments. Yeah. Was that Silent's first event too? Yeah. Yeah, we should've definitely, like, teamed with Pistola still. Should've kept team with him. Ambush. Yeah, the other, yeah. So we were on Believe the Hype. Like, we swapped team like, the Ambush and Believe the Hype team just, like, swapped teams, basically. Yeah. Yeah, they had a, like, a good bracket. Well, I mean, we both had good brackets, but they took advantage of theirs. We had a golden bracket, but we choked. It was, Maniac, actually. Maniac, Severance, Toxic, and Quadus. I guess we didn't I don't think we, like, took them serious. I think we were up 2-1 at one point. But yeah, then after that, it would have been, playing against Art of War for top 6. So, yeah, rough. Yeah. Yeah, real quick, like, what I was saying for backstory for this, Sparty, Boo Boo Doo and Falcated won a tournament with Ace, and, from what I heard, like, from my inside knowledge, that team wanted to stick together, but there was some internal drama that split them apart. So, that kind of split up, eventually, Sparty from Boo Boo Doo and Falcated, so then they kind of went their own ways, and, so now it's kind of interesting because then they reunited. So now it's that trio reunited, and now Lethal on the squad going against FaZe, which was Lethal's former team. So that's definitely some extra fire for him to perform well in this. A- And for setting this up too, Sentinels beat FaZe earlier in this tournament. So now they're playing again in the losers finals. So this is like it's pretty much decided. Yeah, it's the rematch, and then like and they won 3-0 before, so this is showing, like, was it a fluke when they won before? Alright, let's go. Let me know if you want me to pause it or
And
anything.
oh my
Or let
god,
me
a
know if the
pick
volume's,
off right
I
off
need to change
the
it.
bat. Falcated takes out Snakebite and Frosty going down. So that's 2 kills going in favor of Sentinels. And the push is already going down. Boo Boo Doo Boo already in the front of FaZe's base.
And Renegade getting contested over towards the vent side and dealt with quickly as Sentinels once again gained that advantage, and Falcated gonna get himself what I thought was an easy kill, but Snakebite is never an easy one.
What a turnaround out pistol from Snakebite. Falcade getting first shot, but Snakebite more importantly getting the last shot.
You know what the
That's
best
2
placing
down
that
apiece.
Valcade
Spartan holding
had
down
on
front,
LAN
but they do not have the
this
control
past year?
needed on the map, so we're back to a neutral
Or I guess for the
territory.
past 2 years? I guess for the first 2 seasons.
Being one of the best snipers in the game, especially on Argyle, but drops that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Looks like Renegade gonna
So I don't think he's got second before.
He's gonna be contested once again on the vent side, but smartly gonna back down, play his life, catch a new angle, get the player down to one shot, grapples right in, and almost lines up the first, gets him the second time, a double for the Demon as he moves his flag forward. Oh my God.
Slaying an objective. What can't this Renegade do? Helping his team get this first pull, and I do not know if they're in any position to stop this. Lethal, the furthest one up here for Sentinels.
It looks like after they got those kills too, they ran at pistol side. Is that what you're typically seeing from the top teams now?
Knowing that he's one shot, that is perfect communication, small talk, and teamwork that leads to FaZe putting the first flag cap on the board. Back over towards Snakebite. We see QT coming up.
That's the danger in some of those tumultuous situations, is if you're able to snag those slays and grab the objective right away, those players respawning are going to be of no effect during that flag run. So huge heads up play from Renegade to get those slays and continue to press forward.
Thought Snakebite was going to be able to get away with that sniper. Not going to happen, but Renegade in the base of Sentinels, and their snipers right in front of them. Portal and Sniper is a big combination, especially as FaZe momentary 4v2. He's going to be able to start this run, but Sentinels...
So they had 2 down, so he just pulls the flag. He's just causing chaos.
Not going to keep their 100% record here with flag pulls to flag caps. And Renegade has something else on his mind. He wants to be on the offensive and just grab a flag in return.
Starts that flagpole to be a little bit of a decoy. Then
I think this might be, for a lot of people that are watching, the first time they're seeing that equipment, the quantum translocator. So what have you seen as far as like the meta when it comes to that? Like, how are people typically using it?
Here comes the setup,
and what does it do exactly?
They set a trap over in the center. They pick off Frosty. And I believe that's Lethal pushing for the flag same time. If Sentinels are able to secure these last couple kills, they can move this flag across the map. Brilliantly played here by Sentinels, but the slays have not come in. And with Renegade and a sniper across the map, you have to stop and shoot.
Sentinels moving that flag forward. They needed Renegade to hit a shot with that sniper. It looks like it's not going to happen, but here comes Frosty, seemingly out of nowhere. Easy kills come for FaZe. The return once again. That was almost dangerous for FaZe.
Yeah, if Sentinels were able to secure one kill a little bit faster, somehow putting that pressure on Renegade a little bit quicker, that flag certainly would have been moving across the map, but FaZe cleanly be able to get that back to their base. So there's just a lot of these crazy traps being set from both sides. It paused to a halt, and then as soon as one kill happens, both teams are sprinting for the opposing flag.
And Boo Boo Doo coming in quick. Damage with the sidekick. BR as well, but can't quite find the kills. Luckily,
yeah.
Sentinels...
It's insane how long it lasts. I was playing, alright, so I played for the first time for Season 4 last night. I had to, you know, show myself I still got it. Got Onyx in 2 hours. No big deal. But yeah, so I used the quantum translocator for the first time. The first time, like, someone used it against me, and like I saw like there's like a little orb when someone uses it. And I went up to it to like melee it, and then he teleported back and it killed me. It like telefracted me.
Look at this, slowing back down. Falcade gonna translocate onto the opposite side of the map, pick off Renegade. And historically, we've seen this first kill really spur into a chaotic moment, but Royal 2 just holding down the elbow with a snipe is gonna put it.
Can you shoot it, that orb, or does that you just have to wait? Okay. Yeah, it seemed really good. Like then when I started using it, I finally kind of understood how to use it. It seems like your first portal, you want to place it in a spot where like they can't see it, if possible, and then you want to be aggressive. Like you want to be aggressive and put in a lot of damage and then go back. I think that's really the best way to use it.
Someone jumps across top center or grappled on up into his vent. This is going to be the point of contention here for Sentinels right now. They have to clear out their vent and get this top control, or they need to push across the map to make sure they don't get trapped in their own base.
And now Boo Boo Doo getting a little bit of a sneaky angle over toward the bottom mid side. He has Sparty over toward the pistol, and that's a smooth body shot coming up from him, and Sparty able to switch right back out.
And here it goes again. 2 going down for FaZe, and Sentinels immediately in the flagpole before a first spawn happens. Renegade, the first spawner. somehow gets the pick on Boo Boo as he spawns over elbow. I know Sniper popped up as well, so I'm not sure what FaZe are going to do with the snipe, but it should be relatively safe since that flag did not get out too far.
Quantum Translocator coming up as well as
Yeah,
Renegade.
I wonder if there's a way to glitch. I wonder if there's a way to, like, do you remember the dummy glitch in Halo 2? Like, way back in the day? Like, way back in the day? It was like where you had an elite in a Warthog passenger seat, and you could, like, you just kept meleeing, and you could, like, basically get out and, like, walk around the map and teleport back to the vehicle.
In short, these players are going to try to separate from.
Did I just unlock memories for you?
So they can go back, and that is going to be shut down there from Falcated before that equipment can be utilized.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Ends up going down, but Frosty is still forward here for FaZe. Long range shots connecting onto Lethal, and woo!
Hold on 1 second. I didn't have your voice on stream. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, back to neutral territory. Looks like Frosty's trying, or sorry, Royal 2 is trying to run the sniper back, and they're just gonna sit and post up for a little bit to see who overextends from Sentinels. One thing that's been good for Sentinels, though, as they've navigated across the map here in Argyle, they aren't just flying across the center of the map.
Hello.
What you use to kill someone? Yo, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I think you're coming through stream now.
So even though they sometimes get that sniper posted up, sometimes
Yeah, appreciate that. Whoever pointed that out.
what will they do?
You use the lift on Plaza, your momentum upward continues after you board. I forgot about that. You could use the lift on this map too.
Wait, what can you do? You can
So your momentum carries through the portal. So if you place it, like imagine you place the portal bottom mid, and then end up lifting up on one of the bases in this game, or on this map, and then you port while you're lifting. When you come out of the portal on the other side, you'll fly upwards in the air. Maybe you could, like, I don't know how you could use that practically in like a competitive way. It seems pretty impractical, but there's probably some cool like trick shots you could do like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to do trick shots with the QT. That sounds like it'd be pretty sick.
I got good shots here. Another one. I'm winning weak. I kill him.
Oh, need to clean this up real quick.
I'm leaving.
I want to hear the listen in.
Yeah. I'm going kind of fucking.
All right, I'll pause it just for a second. Man.
Okay. There's a lot of people that don't know how to properly communicate in this game, and listening to a pro team during a tournament is going to sound a lot different than probably any game they've ever even been a part of. If you've never been on a pro team and played in a tournament, like the comms are just next level, and the comms really separate the structure and organization of the team.
All right, I should be good now.
Wish I could only watch with listen-ins. I feel that you can learn so much.
We never got him. He was crouching right side.
You clear my Brad. Yo, they love playing. Their PCs.
Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate it.
I killed their PCs. That's not smarty though.
Yeah, maybe I'll lab with the
Yo, Matt, you have gaps open, okay?
QT today and see if there's any weird stuff I can figure out.
He's here sniping that sniper. Sniper's weak on mid, John.
Different base. I'm just gonna sit here.
I feel like
For everyone
if there
that's
was a major
watching-
bug you could do, someone would have figured it out already.
For everyone that's watching on TikTok, I do have the stream on Twitch as well. My Twitch is Gunshot TV. The link's also in my profile on TikTok. It's full screen, and it also shows the TikTok chat too, so you won't miss out on any of the chat.
Can you come shotty on me? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get TPJ. I have your window. I'm Mendo. I have all your cross, okay? I'm Mendo. I can kill the guy. Where is he?
Barrels and PCs.
Watch out barrels. Do one shot the barrels.
That comment from Frosty stands out to me a lot. He said, "I have your."
Throughout that listen.
Pause it real quick.
That position from
Yep.
Snakebite, you saw
He was sitting. He was sitting commando top, like their side top mid, while Snakebite had sniper top elbow on the pistol side. He said, "I have all of your cross. Just chill there." So, like, I don't know if you think about it. There's a lot of setups in this game where you've talked about it ahead of time, and you can get somebody's cross like on recharge. It's probably the most common one, but that kind of shows a different level of awareness to me with them, that they're constantly thinking about and setting up these situations like on the fly. which is like major communication and positioning. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think their comms are really important. Like, I feel like when it comes to their comms, they like Frosty, Snakebite, and it's really mostly those two guys. IGL a lot, so they basically paint the picture for what their team should be doing. So I mean, I think the comms like that are really good from Frosty.
Yeah, no, Frosty's one of the most underrated in-game leaders in the game, in my opinion. He makes so many play
Thanks,
calls.
Father.
Like, everyone thinks of him as like the flashy sniper
And
slayer
the
kind of
tournament's not
player,
live.
but
This is the most recent HCS
he's a
tournament.
lot more than that. Like, he's a very intelligent strategist. He knows like when to slow the pace of the game down, how to communicate to his teammates. Anytime I hear listen-ins, I honestly feel like Frosty's the primary person that's giving those type of comms. So I think he's been a big part of their success this year.
Have you had a chance to listen to Sentinels much when it comes to like Lethal's comms? Because when Lethal was on the team, he didn't IGL like at all.
So on Sentinels, I think Boo Boo and Sparty are taking up most of the IGL. Boo Boo's a very good IGL and always has been, but on certain rosters, he doesn't IGL as much. Falcated's honestly quiet, and I think that like when we were coaching him, uh, we kind of tried to get him to talk a bit more, and I think he stepped it up. But as far as IGL goes, I think it's probably Boo Boo and Sparty
All right.
for the most part.
And you heard
I'll start
Frosty
back.
calling out how Sentinels are traditionally playing this map. Secondly, you heard them call out the last member from Sentinel saying, where is Sparty? They know that things are too good to be true when they're not seeing one of these players flanking around. So they are not relaxed.
Dude, Walshy's the GOAT commentator.
Once they spot Sparty,
Yeah, we love Walshy.
They no longer had to worry about the back of their base. They're slowly sweeping through the rest of the map. The third takeaway from there was Snakebite's position. You noticed that once Snakebite was in the
And piggybacking off that, like,
he was going for rounds of slaying.
From what I've heard too, that FaZe has been like calming that a lot, like trying to adjust the different teams like metagames. Like that, you know, I think it kind of blew up on Twitter a little bit for them calling out how Optic plays. They say they don't play good when they have to push.
Yeah. Someone in chat's asking who's the IGL on Optic.
Yeah,
honestly, it's pretty well balanced between all of them, but I think Lucid, Lunchbox, and Formal probably make the most like in-game decisions, but their communication is so well structured, like everybody is just providing the best info they can constantly. How do you work with someone on getting better comms? Spend a lot of time playing with them, talking through different situations. Actually, can you pause it again real quick?
Yeah.
Look at that, just buying time. Royal 2.
I just want to explain something real quick about like people that struggle with comms. It's really a reps thing. Like you have to work that part of your brain more frequently before you can do it properly. The biggest issue is people not being able to shoot and talk at the same time. And it's so important to be able to do that because the sooner you say where somebody is, the more likely you are to get help with that person you're fighting. But one way to practice and get better at that, if that's something you struggle with, is to literally just during your warm up where you're shooting bots, like consciously try to call out where the bot is while you're shooting him. Like you can turn it into like make it part of your warm up routine to just talk and shoot at the same time in a low pressure environment where you're practicing against bots. And then as you work that muscle, because it's actually two different parts of your brain working, like your motor skills to shoot are a very different part of your brain than the part of your brain that is speaking or relaying information. So the only way you can get those two parts of your brain to work together at the same time is to like practice doing it over and over until you build that connection between the neurons in your brain. Like it really is that deep. So yeah, I just wanted to
do you remember like, so I remember how I got used to it, to talking and shooting at the same time. I would literally talk on the phone while I played.
Really?
Like I remember, yeah. So like I would literally just be talking on the phone and like you get used to it because you're just like shooting while you're talking, and it just forces yourself to like have to basically do it. I mean, that's like one way to do it, like talking to someone on Discord while you're playing, and then like you get used to it, and you're like, oh wow, I'm shooting and talking at the same time. Like you do it without realizing it.
Yep. Yeah, it's all from like building those connections, I think, in your brain. All right, you can start again. Just wanted to go off on that.
So I mentioned I was playing last night, right? You know, playing with a lot of people and matchmaking and stuff. So I kind of found the biggest problem, I think, with a lot of people that are searching matchmaking around, because like, you know, when I got placed in a diamond, so like around like the diamond rank, I guess the low onyx, the biggest issue that I found with teammates is they do not run to each other to help each other out. Like when I spawn as a teammate, I'm looking to where my teammates are and I'm getting to my teammates. I'm like holding forward and getting to my teammates, right? So those guys, when they're spawning, they go off like and do their own thing rather than running to their teammates to help them out.
No, you're exactly right. I feel like a lot of people just don't even think about it. They just focus on their own play, like you said. But like, you don't even have to go directly to your teammate, but just go directly to a spot that you can get an angle to help them with whatever they're trying to do. But yeah, that's definitely a major problem.
Yeah, and I think it's a Halo thing too. Like you don't really see that in other games as much. So yeah, and like I was watching Summit play a little bit, and it was the same thing. Like he's doing his own thing instead of like looking to where his teammates are and working with them. You know, but that's like that like as you play more and as you start playing at a higher level, you realize like that's how you that's how you win as a team.
Yeah, no, this game is so team-oriented. If you're not working with your teammates, you have no chance to win. Once you're against better players, it will punish you for it.
Answers right back. Yes, one more battle has to go through. Oh, not a 1v1. It's
yeah, this is Halo Infinite.
Sentinels getting the help they're looking for, and Boo still has plenty of time.
Yeah, Illuminati.
Overtime here.
Yeah, I did that like when I was like 15.
Happens a lot in this game type. So hard to cap flags. See if Boo is able to get any value out of the quantum translocator. He's had no reason to blink back yet, so it doesn't look like he's going to. Does timeout. So he's running it this way because Sparty was already here, and he was trying to. He figured that Sparty was blocking the next sequence of spawners. Like, a lot of people get confused because I'll say something like the pistol flag route is the best one. But then when I'm playing with him, I'll run it snipe. But it's just because, like, the side that you should go is the side that's already being blocked. You don't want to go the opposite side because they just run into spawners a lot. So even though there is an optimal route, the route is going to be different based on the situation. You have to be able to adapt to the situation.
And that's different on every map too, right? So like on most maps, there's a preferred way to run the flag. But if there's a different scenario, then you may want to run it the other way. But on some maps, it's like, on some maps, there's flag routes that you want to do every single time, you know?
Right.
But,
yeah.
And there's almost no exceptions. But yeah, on this map, there's a lot of different flag routes that you can take.
Yep.
When you get the opportunity to run it down like the middle too, you don't realize like how fast it is. Like when you get that opportunity, but it doesn't come up that much.
Right. Great shots from Snakebite there. He's very good at outputting like maximum damage. But he was kind of on an island there. That's why he got taken down.
Surprise space didn't get up a little further. Feels like
these vents are also underused by most people on this map. These vents are so good to just like patrol the way that Frosty's doing. Just a lot of different angles, easy to dodge grenades and stay alive.
Yeah, taking a blast.
You're just holding the space.
They're in these top power positions. You're just waiting for
choose to drop and relocate if he needs to.
Lethal, the last one alive. What can he do?
What's up, Boba?
He's going to die and join his teammates in the respawn screen. This is going to be a flag.
So it's good to know right there what happened. Boo Boo Doo spawned in the back of the flag, while I believe that was Renegade was in their base, right where the flag was. So in order to block that spawn in the back of the base, you have to be like towards the back of the base. Like where the flag post is, you have to be closer towards the lift in order to block that. So that's something to be aware of whenever people are spawning and you're going into their base.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like the spawn blocking radius is just slightly smaller than the distance between the flag and the back spawn points. That's a good way to visualize it though. Like just imagine the distance between the flag point and the very back of that platform in the back. And that's probably right on the edge of the spawn blocking radius around every Spartan.
From my testing, it's basically the spawn block radius is the same as radar. So whatever your radar is, that's basically the spawn blocking radius.
So it's probably like 30 meters.
Yeah, whatever the default radar is, whatever meters that is.
Faster because they spawn closer.
What are the incentives?
Even though phase route slaying, you know,
right now I just have it as time. I need to add some incentives though.
It didn't matter because Sentinels just had more reinforcements. They were fine to trade out as long as
maybe if I hit
when they were going
500 total subs, I'll make a Halo rap.
Falcated with the sniper could be the difference maker. The Sentinels need to finally convert this defense into
and maybe a music video to go with it.
Off screen, we do see trade out in live, so another 3v3. Next battle could be so important, especially a sneaky angle by Falcated. You got 6 bullets in the chamber. What are you gonna do?
You guys didn't know I'm a rapper?
At this point,
MC said, do they make money? Yeah, this tournament was for a lot of money.
Wait this one out and go for that full replay. So
we're gonna see how this like 100 grand or 250. I'm not sure, but it was for these tournaments are for a lot.
This is dangerous because in a situation like this where you overextend, you could set up phase for a counter pull of their own. Royal 2 pushed into the enemy flag to see if we can get a pull, but too little, too late. We are going to a reset.
All 4 members of Sentinels get wiped right there, and there was just one member of FaZe that was in the base. Oh my god, because the sudden death would have carried over. FaZe would have started that flag, it would have had a sudden death.
After fees and split, how much do they make?
But either way,
I'm not sure for the tournament.
The timer
like,
or only subs.
Every org's different for taking fees.
Yeah,
like some take no money out of the prize money. Some take like up to 20%. That's pretty much it. Like between 0 and 20% for most orgs.
That first overtime, they had so many rounds of slays over in the Sentinel's base. They weren't able to transition that into any flag distance. It's okay to take a pause here and there and get slays. But in theory,
and they all get paid a salary too. So like the salaries range from like $2 grand a month to 10 grand a month.
This venue looks so cool, by the way. I wasn't there because I had to go to Orlando, but heard a lot of good things about the venue there in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, FaZe, we talked about them being undefeated and captured.
Did a hype train happen yet? I think we did have a short one. So Funky gifted 10, Pineapple gifted 10. We had a couple single subs. Chris gifted 3.
It will decide.
Absolutely. And so yeah,
Cardinal resubbed.
Once again, can FaZe get the outslaying?
Yeah, we had one hype train so far.
Into a capture like we saw in the very first round.
Damn, dude, I've had no gifted subs. Feels bad, man.
Going for another scrappy cap.
Go give subs to Gunshots channel too, guys.
I'm just kidding. I'm not a affiliate or partner on Twitch.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so you can multi-stream everything.
Yeah.
So we're going to a reset. They've already played 17 minutes of this game type, but it ended in a tie. And I feel like this is where like the mental fortitude comes in and just like the stamina of playing. Because I mean, you use a lot of brain power to play Halo at a super high level. And these guys have been playing, you know, all day already. So
that's what I was kind of alluding to for Falcated, like is I feel like the FaZe squad is more ready for these longer series and for like going deep into Sunday, right?
Yeah, well, Sunday, now they've been doing it where Sunday is just like the top 4 or top 3 sometimes. Like they do most of the tournament on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then it's a shorter day on Sunday. But
and look at this total vent
I mean,
control.
they've still been playing all weekend long.
Good job here for FaZe. Now, can they convert it into a couple more kills and then a pull? Look at this, Sparty already going for the flank. Not just Sparty though, he has one of his teammates. That's gonna be 2 members dropping. What was a FaZe?
Oh, appreciate
and
that.
So they average like 24.
Whatever. It's just when like
K,
3, I think at least 3 people have to gift things at the same time.
That's like the minimum.
Happens.
That's like the minimum. Like these teams right here, like I know the FaZe team and the Sentinels team, I believe they make between $6 grand and 10 grand a month.
Oh, thank you so much for
like
the
somewhere in there.
Biddies, Boa. Appreciate you
for their salary. Then they get prize money, and then obviously,
wow,
some of them stream, some of them
so fast.
Zero hesitations on grabbing that flag as soon as they got the kills. You give them
that was
a
big.
little opening.
I feel like winning the first game of the series is
I
so
think Final
important.
Boss was the best back in the day for sure. Yeah, even if they're tired, they're used to
and take advantage of it, and they capitalize right away.
Kind of puts the other team in a shitty mood right away.
And they've already beat them once, right? So now they're thinking like, oh shit, it's happening again. Like we're gonna lose these guys.
Yep.
They're thinking about losing the lethal. Like,
yep. All those thoughts start creeping in.
That's not supposed to happen when we have
Don't want to lose to the guy you dropped.
Someone like FaZe, who have some of the strongest full setups in the world.
And if you're on real
Yo, thanks so much, Boa. Have a good day. The Sentinels roster is, I'm excited about it. I want to see them do well again at the next tournament.
What, didn't they get like top 8 at the previous tournament with the same roster?
In that game number 1, we know Sparty, he gets loud.
No, I think this was their first tournament together.
I think they teamed before that, didn't they? The tournament before?
Look at these top players.
Or who was on the Sentinel squad the tournament before?
It wasn't Boo Boo and Falcon. I think it was Suspector and Select, maybe?
Okay.
They matter in Slayer. But what matters in objective is, are you doing something with those kills? Are you taking up a better position?
There's been so many roster changes this year.
And we know
yeah. Or maybe there was some like online tournament in between. I don't remember.
Yeah. I thought it only triggers every 1 hour after 3 different people sub cheer. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I haven't.
One of the best teams in the league when it comes to Slayer.
I'm not sure how that works.
That I have from that stat breakdown from
anybody know if you could possibly get another sub train or hype train?
That Frosty, clearly a much better KD. You know, 1.41 compared to.
I've never had 2 hype trains in an hour,
when
so.
You looked in the damage column, Lethal
You might be right.
Damage, meaning he is putting down more shots and doing more damage across the map that likely his teammates are taking advantage of.
Lethal's just chilling. He's just leaning back.
Which one prevails here on Slayer Solitude? Is it going to be cleaning up your own kills?
Also, I saw you earlier, Spartan Boomer.
Enabling your teammates.
Forgot to say hello to you.
All of these players on screen have had plenty of time playing the first iteration of this map in Plaza back in Halo 5, but that quantum translocator,
I feel like up until this event, Lethal always looked like that Ben Affleck meme where he, when I seen him at events, but he really looked locked in and happy now. The Ben Affleck like smoking a cigarette with his eyes closed.
All 8 players vying for that equipment.
Yeah,
it's a perfect analogy.
No, it's so true though.
Kind of under the radar. You know,
he was going through a lot too though. Like his setup was chalked. He probably couldn't get any good practice. Like I saw his clips he was posting all the time. His game was just full on broken. I think his internet was going out a lot. He had like Spectrum or something like that. It's just, and you're playing a game that's already pretty broken, right? So it's gonna definitely get to your mental over time.
Beautiful map.
Yeah, right.
Do you have any insights on this map in general, like how people are playing it, or if you have any insights for how people are saying how it compares to the Halo 5 version?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the same things still apply from Halo 5, where like, if you're on this side, you want to jump into that glass window to start applying pressure, like Falcated, like he ran past it. But like at the beginning, I think both teams are just going to fight for snipe control, and then throughout the game, try to hold both tram and sniper and force the other team to spawn in blue, which is like in the right side of the screen right now, where Falcade is looking now. Because they can just kind of trap them in there and they don't have any ways out. But I don't know. Some teams like to hold blue and spawn them on the tram side, so like both strategies can work. I feel like in general with this game in Halo Infinite, like the spawns are so easy to control as long as you just spread out and hold space, that like just about any setup can work as long as you're predicting where they're spawning. But for me personally, I prefer to hold the snipe side of the map as much as possible and then just try to gate people from exiting tram and yard.
Check into the hotel and decide, nah, let me go check
What's up, Astros?
The snipe area again. Keep this high advantage.
Doing good.
Really worried here about this posters and these stairs. Want to make sure they don't get any sort of angle. Frosty decides to push out. Realizing too many players.
I think one difference you'll see with these pro teams playing on this map is they'll take the bottom mid route a lot to apply pressure.
Bring the firepower to Sentinels.
Yeah, there's a lot of cover on this map. Like, there's some parts of the map that can be shot by the entire map, but like
truly, this tournament, the tournament's not
low
live.
ground routes have a lot of cover.
This is just a film review for the tournament. This was the last LAN.
I think the U-turn area too, bottom mid, is really good because you can be really sneaky down there, apply damage to anybody that's like trying to get out of a lot of different spots. Nobody can really cross from truck to driveway if you're just holding U-turn effectively. But you need teammates that are up top watching you to do that comfortably.
Let's go towards LR and charge the rest of the FaZe members.
And it was eventually FaZe that ended up going 3 down, but somehow Frosty stays alive and waits for his teammates to come off and spawn. And now that all members of FaZe are up, they start to get aggressive, but Sentinels answer right back. Finally, Frosty goes down, but still a 3-kill game in favor.
This guy right here has really leveled up recently too. We all know Sparty has his struggles with the mental game, but this roster feels like when he's finally comfortable.
What are they going to do with this weapon in 15 seconds?
And he's been unlocked and playing insane Halo.
I'm all for aggression from time to time, but they're
in the first season, I thought he was the best player in the game when he was on United with Ryanoob. Like, he was just doing absolutely insane things on land. Wow, look at that plasma nade.
Yeah, the lineup for sure.
I think it launched to posters.
Yeah, not able to get that weapon. Now these next slaves are going to.
Yeah, it seems like with the way that Spartan is with a team, like he definitely benefits from having structure with the team, like a team that sticks together, you know.
Yeah.
That almost certainly was going to go in the favor of
I think Ryanoob kind of provided that structure on that United roster, and then with Boo Boo is very like cerebral with the game. Like, he was coming up with pretty much all the strategies on G1 when he was on that team.
Snakebite was able to combat evolve that sniper towards him, but once he goes down, Sparty gets a hold of it, and now you see one more member of FaZe over toward the driveway side, and now Renegade is starting to.
I feel like the Boo Boo Sparty duo is actually what's doing Sparty proper right now. Yeah, I think so too.
Wow.
That was a sick shot. Just lined it up. So patient.
A challenge right there. Most of the times you're seeing your snipers post up way behind, making sure that you keep.
Ted, you haven't followed for like a year. Can you explain why Infinite looks better recently than it did like a year ago?
Not successful. Bait and switch coming out of Snakebite and Royal just fighting for the lives against Sentinels.
That's I don't think anything's really changed. It could be my stream too, if you're talking about my stream, because I think I'm applying like some like color correction live.
Nah, I agree with you, Illuminati.
If you're talking about my stream.
In the lead here, and I wouldn't say it's because they're sitting back with Snipe. It feels like aggression is.
He is definitely impacted by his like mental state, but he's in the right. I think he's finally in the right headspace right now.
When they have the chance. So right here, slowing it down, setting up a trap. We're gonna see how FaZe decide to react here.
Might have been a hidden chapter in the book. Finally, we see
yeah, look at the positioning here. So this spot is really, really good on this map because you can rotate and deal damage effectively and also be safe while you do so. I think they recognize that FaZe was turtling here
Sparty
and
flies in.
they're trying to
Ends up picking
collapse
up
on
his
it. It's
life.
so hard to
Boo Boo
collapse on
can't
Tram
quite
though.
find the angle he's looking for. Here it is.
And a slow finish there for Boo Boo. He knows that other players are around him. Snakebite decided to run away from the
So
yard.
they do come out on top
Players
as far as the
decide to back
trio
down.
here.
And once again,
So is there anything
one
that
kill
people are
lead
playing
here
for on this map in
Sentinels.
Slayer? Like,
They have
I know there's the
control of the map.
sniper, and then there's the quantum translocator top mid. Is there anything else that, any other weapons or anything that people are playing for?
Mostly the thruster and repulsor, I would say. The equipment, like repulses, bottom snipe lift, thrusters and yard. I think those are definitely being played for at least a little bit. There's a plasma pistol in the dip, but I don't really see many pro teams prioritizing that. The bandit rifle is also bottom mid, and a lot of the pros do like the bandit rifle because it has a faster TTK than the BR if you don't miss, but I think a bit higher skill gap.
However, it feels like they are favoring to get aggressive, take up more ground rather than grabbing that weapon.
So Boo Boo grabbed the quantum translocator, and he first used it in a spot behind a wall so they couldn't see where it is. So that seems to be like how most people are using it.
Yeah.
They are just sitting and grabbing that sniper as soon as it pops.
And so you said Ace only makes a few dollars a stream. Yeah, I mean streams vary for sure.
Right now, but after seeing Stellar this time, yeah, dude, Stellar was hitting crazy snipes all weekend.
Like, I'm live streaming on every platform right now, and I don't have subs enabled on Twitch. So I have no ads for everyone that's watching on Twitch.
Oh, so close. Dude, he's so locked in. You saw his face right there.
Let's do one shot. Okay, and nest lift. Flowers, flower door. Up nest, one
nest
shot.
Lift?
Let's go benches together. I'm coming. S4 right now. S4 now. S4 and blue window cross. I'm getting shot from blue window. I can watch S4. Yeah, one shot S4. He fell blue truck, one shot nest ramp. Can't get him. He's gonna go lift. Yeah, they're gonna watch over. Nice, that was him.
Dude, TJ's comms are locked right now.
Nice.
You hear how specific Lethal was to update the exact location of that player as fast as possible.
That's really underrated too, being very specific with callouts. That's another thing that people can work on too, is being specific, calling out someone and where they're going and when they're there, you know.
Yeah.
Down low, at truck, at lift, going to kill them at their own leisure. They knew that players were
saying something like, Renegade's at snipe spawn, he's going towards snipe lift now, he's snipe lift now. Like, just speaking kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's something that not a lot of people do. Like, they'll just say a call out and then forget about it, and they don't state where that player has gone. But the more specific information you give to your teammate, like, the easier it is for your teammates to make the best decision in the moment.
Yeah, M2, I agree. That's one way. I'm personally just focusing on making better content. So
before you die, yeah.
I'm gonna be focusing on making more TikTok videos and start to make YouTube videos. That's mostly what I'm gonna focus on into. That's like,
saw the way Snakebite
as a content creator, that's the best way to
he was still
monetize.
trying his best to like help his teammate in the fight and also dodge. Like, there's such an interesting little dance that you do with your teammates in Halo when you're weak and like taking cover, then your teammate comes in and starts taking the damage, so then you can come back out even though your shields aren't back yet. But Sentinels, even though Snakebite played that situation so well, still able to kill him. Was down to the wire.
Starting to clutch up here as Sentinels go 3 down once again. Now you need to find out where they're spawning. FaZe, they have the advantage. They can end it right here.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have a lot more clips I'll be posting. I have some ideas with that. Thanks, Illuminati. Yeah, I'll keep the streams up.
Every body shot so crucial in these moments. Gets 2.
Do Sentinels decide to be the aggressor here?
You have to wonder
or do they decide to try to run out the clock?
If FaZe could have tried to like
getting aggressive,
finish those kills. I don't know.
Here comes the pushes over near hotel ramp. Spartan gets picked
What a
off.
shot.
That's an insane shot.
Players in the hotel, and this
just trying his best to find anything.
Now just one
wow, Boo Boo descoping him right there. So clutch.
Looking for that final kill, but it looks like Frosty just ran out of sniper ammo. World 2 still
Hi Mabel, happy Easter. Pretty sure it's not Easter, but I'm able.
Yeah, MC, I'm gonna be focusing on the clips like that and other clips like for example on TikTok generally the way the monetization works, like for every 1,000 views I get, it's like equivalent to $1. It's basically how it works on TikTok.
So both teams are just like spread out, taking space on one side while the other team does the same on the other. They're just trying their best to find some kind of opening or kill here.
Spartan in the dip. Renegade gonna try to engage that. Decides not to jump out.
What's up, Smooth Medicine?
And support. And FaZe, they don't.
Dude, this. How long has this gone on without a kill even happening? FaZe just needs one.
No sniper in effect the rest of this game.
They're playing this so cautious right now. Where FaZe, they know
is Lethal in dip right now? Dude, he is in such a precarious spot.
Wow. Oh.
Renegade kills Boo Boo.
Boo Boo Doo just kind of went a little bit too far out. Yeah, what up, Austin?
Man, that was insane.
They didn't care about the positions. They flew out to the center of the map. They started scurrying on the bottom of the map.
The command. Here, I'll do the command for you.
Eventually had that perfect angle. You saw Renegade getting the final kill on Boo Boo over at top snipe lift.
It was a 50-49 game the last time these two matched up over towards the winner's bracket, and it happens again, but this time it's FaZe that come out the winner.
Let me know if you have any questions about that, Smooth. You want to get a session, let me know.
That one's a bit of a heartbreaker. I felt that Sentinels were mostly...
Yeah, for everyone that's watching on Twitch, Eli is also streaming as well on Twitch.
By a couple kills. You just saw Sentinels take over. They got up by 7 kills. They had positions. But let's take a quick look at the KDs before we break that down further. Sparty, 17-14 with 9 assists. Most kills, most assists. Also a lot of deaths, which is fine. You're securing the other two.
Yeah, that's basically 1 million views on TikTok, so like $1,000. There's some stipulations to that though. You like
very reasonable price.
You said you like me better.
I do have a promo right now as well.
Yep.
If you watch the video toward the end, there's a 20% off discount code as well.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I mean,
it doesn't get closer than 50-49 like that.
How much do you think would be too much for an infinite lesson?
There's a qualified view, so like people have to watch for a certain amount of time, and the video has to be a certain length.
The value that you expect to get out of it. I think that, like, I don't know, it's such a weird question, like the pricing of coaching. Like when it comes to League of Legends,
I would moth all these scrubs. That's a fact.
Who charges like $300 per hour, and people have like roasted him for that. But the thing is, there's such a high demand for his coaching, so he can do that, right? He's still booked out like all week long. It's kind of like a supply and demand thing, I think. When you come to like the price of things like that.
Yeah, you basically have to get a.
And like
you said you're signing up for TikTok.
I used to charge a little bit less, but I was like fully booked up for multiple weeks, and realized that like I had a lot of people tell me I should increase the price of it because they were getting
there's
more
ways to
value
make
than
money
I
off of it, but you basically have to get
so.
to 10,000 followers to start doing that.
APG charges $650.
It's not like easy.
It's actually crazy. I mean, he's one
All
of the
right,
best to
later,
ever do it.
There's ways to like monetize after you get 1,000
decided
followers.
That that's what his time is worth, so he has the right to charge whatever he wants, I guess. Hey, all good, Illuminati. I'll be around. I'll be streaming a long time, so if you come back, love to see you.
Wait, who did you say charges that much?
APG.
He charges how much?
Someone in chat says $650.
For an hour? Or for how long?
I don't know. Is that on Metafy?
Consistently just holding those high up power positions.
What's up, Malafar? Hello, young chap.
And look at this, all these members of Sentinels scurrying.
You know
around,
Boba Luhu too? Boba's been in my channel for
generally when you get one player,
like 2 years now, I feel like.
Games, everyone's eyes are focused on there. But it seems like FaZe have kind of learned what happened in the past. If they focus
How are you
on
today,
the very
Michaela?
first threat, they're going to get flanked. They're going to get surprised by all these other members. And so FaZe wisely.
Someone in his chat was like, I did it and it's worth it. And it turns out that dude got free lessons.
Chase that very first person that's weak.
Wait, what?
2 players flying up. Someone that Royal 2 saying, how am I seeing 2
I don't know.
people flying across top center, and here's the end crucial
I don't want
kill
to say too much about it without knowing like
Picking
all
him
the
off across
details,
map,
but
helping his teammate Frosty
it is my
to
opinion
avoid
that a
that
coach can
50th
charge
final
whatever they
death.
want because
What
you know
wild
somebody will
aggression
buy
we're
it,
seeing
then
from Sentinels, and it's working against the
someone
best
will buy
teams
it.
here in the world.
It's one of those things too. Like if if he's a pro player and he's already getting paid, he doesn't really want to coach. So like he's saying, all right, if someone will pay $600, then I'll give him an hour of my time. Like
Yeah, pretty
basically
much. Like everyone's time is valuable, and you have the right to choose how much your time is worth.
And it wasn't until they knew they could secure those final 2 kills that's when FaZe struck.
The one thing you cannot buy is mechanical experience. Yeah, just like general skill, like mechanical skill. I do think that every individual probably has their own like cap when it comes to that.
One thing that Sentinels have done,
but there's also a lot of things you can do to work on.
Yeah, there's definitely things you can do to work on it. Yeah, 100%. Like there's a lot of players that I don't know, like just as an example, someone like Tusk, for example, like watching Tusk play like a while back, like he's obviously gotten way better because he's played with pro players and he works on his game a lot. So that's just an example. Like, look at someone like Tots back in the day. Like, Tots is the same way.
When Tots started playing, he was not very good at all. He had to be like one of the most improved players in Halo 3, if not the most, because he surrounded himself with pros throughout his career until he could keep up with them.
Yeah, so I think the equivalent to that is like Tusk for like the new age. Like he just surrounds himself with like pro players all the time.
Yeah, he's got a great mind for the game as well. There's a lot of milking going on here before the next game.
Coach is going to be tested to make sure they're always keeping track of it on the map.
Well, here we go, Salt Lake City.
My biggest regret is playing mouse and keyboard for a year and half of Infinite for half of Infinite, then switching to controller. So I feel like I'm getting used to it. Dude, name a more iconic duo, Frosty and hitting no-scope headshot at the very beginning of a Halo match. Remember in Halo 5, he would just like beeline the sniper on Coliseum and then just thrust no-scope somebody in the face?
Like crazy.
I don't know, that's just like his thing. That's his
strat.
Yeah, his strat is to just get the gun first and fucking no-scope someone in the face and get out. That's just allsy.
Battled it out on this game mode. Last time, going in favor of Sentinels 4-2, despite Sentinels being outslaved. But is history a changing here, Tony? They also played.
The problem is you can't do that strat if you can't hit the shot every time like he does. You know, like you can't just choose that to be your strategy. He just has the confidence that he can hit the shot, and why not? And he's hitting shots like that.
My gosh! And Frosty is still connecting with the sniper left and right.
Guy's insane.
Right back for the green side, but a killing spree out of Frosty clears out the green side of the map.
What do you think about this game type? I think this is one of my favorite game types.
Yeah, I like live fire a lot. Live fire is probably my favorite Infinite map. This is a good game type. I like the way that I mean, I think there's only a few different ways that you can play it to be like correct. So that's one of the ways that I like it too. There's not like a lot of different ways to play it. So there's like I feel like you can watch a play and be like, all right, that's a good play, and then if they make a different play, all right, that's a bad play.
He clutched it up with a triple kill, closing out the fourth and final hill here against FaZe. And now kicking off right off the bat here with the first one. Trying to stay alive. Look at how difficult of a kill it is to take down Falcated. Just juking left and right against Renegade.
Yeah, Falcade's been playing great at the green side here.
A toe out of this hill. But they both know where each other's at. They know the location. And look at this.
I just realized I was muted. Whoops.
Peacefully inside
yeah, I was saying that I like I think I like King of the Hill because
we can just stay inside.
There's like
we can be buddies.
A mini strategy for every single hill location.
Yeah.
Instead of just like an overarching, like just go here and get these items throughout the game. It's like you have to have a good strategy for so many different scenarios. Like if the hill is at tower and you're spawning in A, you have to have a good strategy to like break their setup. Then if you get the setup, like where are you going to hold the time for the longest period of time?
Right. And this is something that a lot of teams talk about too. Like they talk about the setups and optimal setups for different hills where they want people to be. So these teams already basically know all of that. And then I remember a while back, like watching Optic play, they would call out certain teams and saying they're doing the E United setup or they're doing this setup. Like so the other teams watch film and go back from playing people to know how teams want to prioritize. So knowing how a team wants to set up and then knowing how to break it, that's something at a high level that these guys do, and that's not something that you see like on an AM team.
Right.
And all of a sudden, over 50% of the hill in favor of Sentinels.
As the coach and analyst at G1, I had over-page document that was just strats of all the other teams that we were likely to play against in the tournament. And like you have to do recon on every single team because you don't know how the bracket is going to play out and like who you might play at any given time. So you have to be ready for every single team. So I had an insane document, and then like at the tournaments would pull the relevant data that I had because I would know the game types and who we were going to play in pools or bracket, and just have kind of like a game plan structured ahead of time before they play them, and have a heads up about what kind of things they're going to go for. So there's so much recon work done in this game.
Lucky for Sentinels and Sentinels fans, there are 3 objective games total in the series.
4 hills at B, but Obi's about to be up, and you got to decide what to prioritize. Yep. Yeah, things like that are crucial. Eli used your little call out on Halo 5 the other night, and I was so proud. Like, look, I knew it. And they laughed and were like, "That's Attic. The other one's Eli." That's funny. You tried though. That's all that matters, Michaela.
All 4 members of FaZe end up getting wiped. Here comes Lethal.
Lethal, the last one to join the fight, last one to join the party in the hill.
So Lethal was basically last up, and then now he has the hill. So then, as his team, it looks like they're mostly all flanking and going down low. That's surprising to me. They're not like going up top.
I think maybe they know that FaZe's strategy is to go low a lot in these situations.
That makes sense.
Because I do see FaZe do that a lot, where like they use bottom mid as their rotational option.
Just as you said that, Renegade was just running bottom mid, and he was like basically the first one pushing up.
Yep.
Taking down Renegade, but Lethal falls.
Time is so close. Boo-Boo's gonna try to stick this. It's too close. It looks like no one from FaZe can get their foot in there. That's gonna be 3.
The rules against players playing under different accounts, it could keep opponents from predicting how a player would play or something. No, you have to play on your normal tag. That's why all these guys are on their like actual Xbox accounts.
Still so much time on the clock though, Tony.
Because at the tournament you log into your Xbox account and you play on a private server.
Do they step inside the hill? I feel like this hill is one that you can't just bait over and over again. So I would expect them to grab this OS and just try to close out this game and start the clock a little
What's interesting about that question though is in open bracket, you don't log into your own tag. You play under HCS 456 or HCS 232. So everyone is anonymous in open bracket.
Now Spotty started to move in position with the sniper, but 2 of his teammates go down.
So you have to use the HCS accounts.
So what are you seeing for this hill when it's on the overshield spawn? What are you seeing as the meta for teams? What do teams want to prioritize when they're setting up for this hill?
For this hill, you kind of just want to hold both sides if possible. Like if you can hold the screens and A area and sandbags, and you also have like dummies and tower, it's very good because you just really want to keep the other team from being able to safely stand in the hill. I think key door is a really important part of this too, because key door is one of the best approach angles to this hill if your teammates are already like fighting from one side to the other. We usually see a lot of players key door.
Nice, they won 4-0. Yeah, and then to piggyback off that, like you basically want them to spawn green, right? Like, and that goes for any hill and like any OBJ. Like you want them to spawn the furthest away from the OBJ as possible. So that goes for literally every single hill point, for pretty much for every map. Like you want them to spawn as far away as possible.
Yeah, same with like an oddball setup. It's the same thing, just spread out around the oddball, force the other team to spawn like as far away from the oddball as possible. And then if you don't have time to do that, then like rotate the ball the opposite direction if they spawn too close, kind of thing.
Yeah, perfect timing. We're going into
When
oddball.
they were over towards garage, one thing that was most impressive, are they going to get a little bit of reset?
Yeah, so Sentinels, I think their structure is so good. Like they just play the fundamentals like perfectly. They just that's how you win 4-0 in King, is you just prioritize all the correct space on the map for every single hill, play every situation ideally, never really let the other team get a significant advantage in kills the whole game.
Yeah, it's first to 3, so it's a best of 5. So the first team that gets 3 wins.
Or is he going to try to get that objective?
Yeah, you have to change like all 7 pages of your settings if you're in open bracket. Every single time you sit down.
Rough, dude. It is rough. I mean, you still have to do it in pro bracket, right? Like, because your settings don't save when you log into a new PC.
That's true, yeah.
It is rough. They need to fix that for sure. It takes me like 10 to 15 minutes for all my settings because I change something on like every page.
So what they do though in the pro bracket is they have hard drives that save like the JSON files of each person's gamertag. So then when you log into the gamertag, like the JSON file will reformat all your settings for you. So like the admin at the feature station, yeah, just has like little hard drives they slot in everyone's PC.
Now with the shock rifle, teammates are going down left and right. He has to hit the shot, able to do it. Sentinels go 3 down. FaZe are spawning up onto the gold side.
FaZe play ball. It looks like Renegade has.
Yeah, Sentinels is very good at objective.
But all these
I think they're a good Slayer team too, but like Slayer's just
can be nice,
really coin flippy at this point in the meta.
But Sentinels have done a good job of rotating around and isolating fights. Lethal getting the kill of his own.
On this game type, I'm seeing a lot more pro teams like trying to play for kills before they go for the ball. Like a lot more. Like they don't try to milk as much.
What can Frosty and crew do to break up this?
It's because like the way the spawns work, the game like the enemy that's pushing in, even after you get kills, like the spawners usually spawn close enough to their teammates who are also still pushing that it's just like a constant push that never really ends. So I don't know, they're just trying to make sure the map is secure before they hold the ball.
No, must have been a spawn over at Pipes there or FaZe.
Yo, what's up, Revan? Yeah, different times.
Fortunate setup there.
I'm pretty sure the admins at Halo 2 tournaments also had to like have the DLC disc that had Sanctuary and Warlock on it. They had to like manually install it on every single Xbox in the venue before the tournament. All kinds of stuff like that.
Allows Boo-Boo-Doo to stay alive, and he has 2 members of Sentinels.
Good luck in the 1v1 against Michaela Bova.
And he even has a full setup because the player addressing Whirlpool. Easy snatch by Boo-Boo-Doo.
1-person advantage. I was wondering if Sentinels are going to go charging across the map, try to push that advantage. A little tougher here on recharge.
Also, Revan, just think about the fact that we were all on those giant tube TVs.
They opt just to grapple the ball themselves.
So they had like multiple trucks full of these fucking massive heavy PCs. And had to like carry them all in, set them all up. Took like days.
And finally that day gonna take him down. In fact, Royal 2 was able to get the stick, so 2 down go Sentinels, and Royal 2 with some beautiful long-range shots. You have 2 players that are one shot in front of you.
Yeah, I think we definitely underestimated how much work went into those tournaments, the MLG tournaments.
Yeah.
Down goes Sentinels, and Royal 2 might be able to get the shot with the grapple. Sentinels, watch your head.
And they were losing money on those tournaments. MLG, they were not making money on those.
Breakdown right there. In Pipes, he took down 2 players single-handedly with a couple plasma grenades, laying down all those shots over towards C-Plat.
Capturing the games. Yeah, they had those little like DVD players on some of the feature stations.
Royal 2 literally killed 2 players, laid down so many shots, and no ball time whatsoever. Got shock rifle.
I still want to know who has those DVDs and like DVRs of our old gameplay.
Grabbing a few seconds of time.
It's gotta be
apparently
somewhere,
someone
right?
knows. Yeah, someone said they did.
I think it was Joker, right? Joker can't spell.
I think so.
I think I talked to Best Man about it, and he said that it wasn't like what it sounded like, and it wasn't actually everything.
Yeah, ego challenge in there, not dropping whatsoever. And we're seeing a situation where FaZe had a 4-on-2, did not touch the ball. Now they had another 4-on-2, not going to make that same mistake. They grabbed the ball, but are punished.
FaZe was trying to take the ball.
Going to scrap up a little bit of time. No, decides to play ball and get some slays.
Do you call this silo?
Renegade.
Yeah, or it's just C. Let's take it to
you
the
just
C
call
side.
it C? Okay, yeah. I mean, FaZe was trying to take the ball there, which I think is the best spot to hold the ball. And then Spartan just came behind them.
Decide to rotate a little bit faster.
Yeah, the reason the C setup is so good on this map is because obviously you can play the ball when things go south, but you can really force the other team to extend all the way into C to kill you before you play it, which means you're likely to spawn in gold at the next ball. So like the rotation is like already there for you. You just have to get a couple of kills and you can get right back into like a A/B setup.
Playing a king of the hill or an oddball is if
I think having gold in A is also very good, but it's sometimes hard to get control of both at the same time.
You need to put yourself in a
so rotation to C is just like makes more sense in a lot of situations.
A couple seconds here and there, that's going to add up with the pace of this game. However, when there's lots of points being put up on the board, you don't go for those scrappy setups.
Camo's coming up though, that's when you want to be at C as well.
Let's see how it plays out here.
Better approach angle.
Final moments though. FaZe need to hold this for 20 seconds just to tie. The pressure's already being pushed.
Wow, great grenade from Falcated right there.
Renegade with the ball. Pressure from both sides. He's going to try to play ball it. And Sentinels, they're going to welcome that. Sentinels either get the kill or they get more time off the clock. Spartan.
Yeah, with time winding down, I kind of expect them to just leave the ball here.
He's going to be trying to scrap up time. He has so much time here we can bait out a kill. Spartan gets one kill here.
This camo is going to expire before the game clock expires.
On the ball when they have the advantage. How are they going to do it in neutral territory?
It's a big kill.
Like that,
yeah, without taking damage too. Just a little bit of detonate damage.
They have no one in a position to touch this. Someone's going to have to desperately push on out. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Royal 2. He's going to get picked right off. Royal 2 goes down. Snakebite going to be the next victim.
That's it.
Snakebite down. And that's going to be round 1 going for Sentinels.
So important to know when it's good to play time in oddball and just leave the ball in a position that's hard to grab. Got you lurking while I'm doing chores around the house. Appreciate that, Zach. I'll be playing soon. I was going to do some, probably some like custom games with viewers after this. If you want to play, Matt, welcome to join.
All right. Yeah, it was an interesting start from Sentinels there. Like they didn't take tower at all. They just played low and played towards camo. Which I think is really interesting because you basically get the tower for free from the A side.
Yeah. Have something else to say though.
Yeah, I think maybe it's kind of
slain and they're on fire.
Do what's not expected and maybe have a stronger push towards gold to secure the shock rifle, which is also super important on this.
This is one of the first times we're seeing FaZe get multiple down and keep
ends up working out long term. Dude, Boo Boo always finds these like tricky kills that just like make it slightly easier for his teammates to break into the setup.
They decide to rotate it. They decide to play ball as soon as they reach some pressure. We'll find out here shortly.
Eventually, Boo Boo does end up going down, and Frosty gets away with the shot. Body shot onto one. Falcated goes in for the challenge, but Frosty can't quite find the hit, so he's going to be elusive back down. Ultimately, play his life.
Surprised he was able to rotate without getting shot across the map right there.
FaZe go 3 down. This is not good. Frosty has to make a play.
Yeah, FaZe with their full setup, getting about 20 points of time. Here, not exactly a full setup, but Sentinels already having that lead. Scrapping up 11 seconds, play ball on it and saying, we don't want to put FaZe in position to get another full setup. Now they have the numbers advantage. Do they decide to go for it? They get Frosty down. Royal 2 also down. That's 3 down, and not a second goes by.
They waited until they basically slayed heavy in order to pick up the ball. So they waited until they had 3 down.
Toss up towards bat ledge.
Yeah.
This team is
no, I don't know about this play.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. Maybe he wanted to get into A fast enough to spawn, but the timing wasn't right.
They're hopping on it immediately, but as I say that, Raw 2 gets a double card of nowhere.
He also caused even though he died pretty quickly, he caused enough of a distraction to alleviate pressure over here for Camo.
Definitely the player on Sentinels to watch out for. He's the one that
could have got more out of that life though, for sure.
Yeah.
Low behind enemy lines, knows it's too good true. He knows that player is not just going to be there with the ball without having his back watch. Some pressure there over from bat ledge. Decides to deal with the threats first. FaZe with a great ball rotation.
That play with the grapple was probably, he was probably like responding to a call out, like and trying to help out. Just,
yeah. No play ball though. 3 down. They know.
What do you think about this sidekick right now in the meta?
This is a great position for Sentinels. They have 2 options.
I mean, it's really strong. I don't know. I'm not like, I'm not a fan of a lot of the weapons that are in the sandbox. Like I don't like that. I don't like that there's weapons that may take less skill than the BR that you can just pick up and use. But I mean, like, it's not that bad though. Like, this is that's the bad part of it. Like that you can just spam it and like rely on Bloom to hit your shot. That's the bad part about it. But I mean, it's really strong though. Like, it's a weapon you want to pick up, and it's a weapon that you want to use mostly close range. It's really strong.
It's super effective close range. Like, it shreds the BR close range.
It reminds me of like the Reach DMR, like just trying to spam.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just telling you where the
You get punished for spamming it too much though. But yeah, it adds kind of like a luck factor. I think when they added the bandit rifle though, they accidentally buffed the bloom on the pistol to where it resets a lot faster.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that happened.
Dead. Nice Sean. On grapple, all on shock. I'm gonna play for.
I've heard a lot of people comment on FaZe's comms saying that they're like too chaotic. What do you think about that?
Dude, Xbox.
Say that again.
I've heard a lot of comments on FaZe's like comms saying they're too chaotic. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think they probably had been, but I know it's something they've been working on too. And like, it probably sounds chaotic to the average viewer, but like to them, they're still hearing and understanding everything that's being said, right? It's like
I agree, and everyone's different, right? Like I prefer these comms. Like I hear everything that they're saying, and some people get overwhelmed by those, and like there's too much, so they hear nothing. But for me, I hear everything. It's all different. Depends on the person.
Yeah, I think some people would be like overwhelmed with comms like this, but like when you're used to it, it's a benefit because it like hypes you up and gives you enough intel as you need. It's very fast and precise. More information the better. I would say that like I would say that one thing that I think is kind of unnecessary is how often people repeat the same call out. But I don't know. I think that the more you say it, the more you're trying to say exactly where they are. So just being more specific with like the subsequent callouts is probably a better way to do it. You know your team is trying when you hear this? Yeah, for sure. No, I feel like it does definitely encourage you to give your all in every single situation.
Yeah, I think
teammates are feeding you good info.
I think saying the call out once is like that would be like the best thing to do, like in a perfect world, but people don't listen, you know? I feel like hearing it twice like lets the call out like register in people's head.
That's true. Like different parts of your brain are active while you're competing, and like you might have your attention focused on something you're doing.
They seem stressed.
So maybe the second or third time that you hear it is the time that it actually registers, you know?
That's a new excuse that people can use now. Like if someone said like, if you didn't listen to a call out or something and someone called out like, yo, why didn't you listen to me? Just say like, oh, you didn't repeat it. You need to say it twice.
That's a good point, Tetris.
What a play by Lethal.
Great play by Lethal. Realizing that his teammates were clearing out another one elevator, they were going to have temporary numbers advantage, and because of it, they're going to go step in the elevator. this could be the moment. These next kills, as they stop over towards Turbine, is going to decide the game. And it looks like kills are being traded out. Looks like Valkyrie decides to rotate this ball all the way towards Hydro. And this is a spot they can wait and wait and wait until FaZe have enough firepower. He wants to get that least 67 lead, and they do get the lead. Ball spawning towards batteries.
Big play.
Can anyone touch it from FaZe? Or is it going to be a little stalemate? Are they going for Slays?
Oh, I think I remember this. This has a crazy ending.
From Bat Ledge. Knows players are at Turbine. And FaZe, they have to make a play, and they have to make it now. Royal 2 and Frosty,
1 second.
last two alive that can potentially touch the ball. Frosty pushing over towards the batteries.
He gets 1 second before dying, and it activates the minute of overtime.
In position to get the touch, and that brought it into overtime. We got another minute, Tony.
Got a bit of sudden death.
I feel like a lot of people in matchmatching have probably never even seen this situation happen, where it's tied as the timer runs out, so then it adds a minute up to the clock.
It does the same thing for Slayer too, right? Adds a minute if it's tied at the end.
It adds 3 minutes if it's tied in a Slayer, which is weird, but
how often do we see the game?
I think it's because in Oddball the timer freezes,
0 seconds
so
left on the clock and tied.
It's like the game clock only starts at 5 minutes in Oddball because of the fact that the ball freezes while being held, or the timer freezes while being held.
This is totally feasible for FaZe still. They just need a couple slays and get that ball away. And getting caught off
Oh my god,
right there.
so
Frosty
sneaky.
Gets taken down by Spartan. Snakebite also dead. Sentinels playing the clock. They decide they just need the slays. They don't need to worry about the ball. Somehow Renegade sneaking away with the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. They should have just been more aggro
Could
to the
this
ball
be
there.
a blunder here from Sentinels? They just assumed they had more map control than they did. Renegade doing such a strong job.
And this is
here.
gonna
Get
come
the
down to the wire
ball
again.
all the way towards Hydro. And
Wow.
it is a battle.
10 seconds on the
In
clock.
back of Hydro. All 4
FaZe down by
members of FaZe
2.
down.
Falcated.
2-point
Yeah, all
lead.
4 dead. That's it.
Sentinels are not going to touch that. They're just going to guard that ball. And this is going to be it, Tony.
This is game. FaZe go 4 down.
Nice.
Off the map. It's Sentinels that are going to the grand
3-1. So that means they went 6-1 against FaZe this tournament.
Crazy.
Not just in one
Had their
series,
number.
but 2 series against FaZe that they
Crazy.
Does it keep stacking a minute if it ties on a tie? That's a good question. I've never seen like a double tie. The game might just end. In other game types, if it's still tied after the overtime, then it doesn't just go to another overtime. It'll just end the game as a tie.
So let's jump right into, I guess, this is the grand finals. This is Sentinels, the team we just saw, versus Space Station Gaming, who is sitting in the winners finals. And Space Station's been pretty dominant up to this point in the tournament, right?
Yeah, they won all the way through winners bracket. Didn't drop too many games. I think they did have a game 5 against Optic, maybe, in the winners semifinals. And then they ended up winning that on Recharge. Yeah, that's the one that I did a video on.
Nice.
Before we start this, let me take a quick bathroom break.
All right.
And then we'll get back into it. I'll be right back, guys.
All right. I'll entertain your chat.
All right. Yeah, talk to Gunshot.
Yo, what up, guys? Wait, let me pull up Eli's stream too. All right. I got all the chats up.
right.
I have so many chats up right now. This is crazy. Yeah, what was interesting about this tournament is like Space Station. I feel like people didn't really think that they're going to win this tournament. Like they're kind of underrated. I think people thought they were probably the fourth best, or sorry, like the third best team. People would rate FaZe as number 1, and then like Optic is second, and then Space Station seemed like a distant third. But from all the results and from all the previous tournaments, like Space Station has kept up with all those teams. They just have fallen a little bit short in previous tournaments versus those guys. And they're just a really complete team, like Stellar and Bound, highly skilled players, like obviously Penguin too, and then Eco is their main IGL. And that's something you'll see with this team versus other teams is like Eco is really the main IGL. On other teams, you really don't see that where there's like a main IGL person, but on this team, it's pretty clear that it's Eco that's running the team. Yeah, Cardinal, you said SS Jesus comes out. Yeah, I guess that's Seller's new nickname, right? The first game is a pit flag, so this game type's really interesting because like it plays out a lot differently than Halo 3 pit flag, because I think one of the main reasons is the sword side in this is so much better than in Halo 3, just because you have more routes and more angles on things. Because in sword now you basically have the the back area that's facing where the overshield spawn is, so you have like a whole new route that you can take. He said the repulsor changes the way the map can be played. Really, you think that oh yeah, the repulsor does make a big difference, like especially with the different like jumps that you can do with it, and of course now you can launch people off the map when you pick it up on that side of the map. That's true, it does make a big difference. Yeah, you can grab the repulse, grab the overshield, and then go back up to sword spawn. That's true. It makes a big difference. Just being in sword on this and being like in where the windows are to like, I guess on the screen right now where you can see like where Stellar's like where he's looking right now, I call that the window. Being in that spot gives you a lot of sight lines to see the map. Then you can easily get away too if you need to from that spot.
All right, sorry about that. Had to answer a message as well.
All good.
But we are back, chat. Thanks for your patience.
Become a convertible building. Oh, Stella!
Oh, there's just a no scope right off the start.
Play that snipe again. I like blinked and I missed it.
Crazy.
Jesus, what?
That's just insane.
Did you watch and see like the rest of his snipes? Someone needs to make like a montage of all his snipes.
Nah, I didn't see. I saw like some of the plays, but I mean it's
like legit some of the best sniping I think we've seen in Halo history.
Dude, people like I saw like people tweeting that it's like his sensitivity or something. Like, what is that about?
Well, he keeps his like settings secretive, I guess, but so people were just memeing about it. Like I think Flamesword knew his settings, so he was like joking around and being
Does he really keep his settings a secret? Like in my opinion, that's like cringe. Like it's cringe to keep like the settings that you're playing on a secret.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where competitive Halo's at right now, though. It's like everyone knows so much, but any edge that you have, you want to keep to yourself. So they try not to like share anything with anyone.
I feel like when it comes to settings, like it should all be just like open information. Like everyone should, you should be allowed to know like what someone is playing on in a sense. Like as like a professional courtesy, I think that's.
Bro. He just like legit ascended this tournament and just hit every single shot.
Yeah.
The shots from Stellar over the past 2 days have
It's like your settings only do so much. Like you're still the guy. Fucking
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
but like
the settings necessarily like don't really matter. Like it's gonna be like, you know, you could put a really good player on 1 cent and you could put him on 10 cents, and like it's not really gonna make that much of a difference.
yeah, I think there's just something to be said for being in tune with your specific controller, how it feels, and the settings, like the mixture of all of it.
Yeah, being used to the controller, being used to your settings, like knowing how far you need to move your, you know, your right stick when you're aiming in certain spots. Like you just kind of get used to it. So if you're used to your sensitivity, it doesn't really matter that much. You just want to be comfortable with what you're using.
Comfortable, warmed up, kind of in flow state.
If you die on the opposition side of the map, it's fine because it's going to take you a few seconds to get.
People are also saying that he kept putting something in his lip the whole tournament. It like looked like a dip pouch or something, but that it was something else. I don't know.
That's something that yeah, I mean that's actually like a what I've saw recently. That's like a performance enhancer for gaming.
Do you know what it is? What? How does he not die to that rocket?
It's probably just like tobacco.
Could be.
So like I know one of the Counter-Strike teams, I think it might be Navi, got in trouble for that, like because that's like against their rules for using that. So I mean, like some people were saying that like tobacco is more of a performance enhancer than Adderall, for example. But
Like
I mean,
in general,
yeah.
I feel like that's faded.
So yeah, so I mean, like you'll have people. I mean, these guys are going to do whatever they can to have an advantage. So I mean, I don't doubt it.
Toe to toe, everyone making the
Yeah.
right guesses about where the pressure's coming from. Penguin now on the tower. Booby should be dealt with. Booby will be dealt with.
Bound voted best hair in Halo. His hair looks a little ridiculous in the camera.
Yes. Falcate is now last alive on the needles. Penguin
Got some
can't
anime
believe
shit
where
going
he
on.
was, though. If he had his vertical placed a little bit better that time,
Ooh.
then he would have got Falcated. But
I think this guy right here is an underrated sniper too. I've seen him do some crazy shit with it.
Oh, for sure.
This should be a pull here. 4 dead for Sentinels. Space Station will pull here.
You can like always rely on Penguin to make like the right play and to make like the solid play. Like you don't really see him like choke a play much. Like he's the guy that's always going to make the layup.
Look at his face, dude. He's thinned out a lot. He lost a lot of weight. I think he lost like 50 or 60 pounds. Kind of on like a little personal health journey. I think that makes you play better as a player too, just being in the right physical form.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that gives you confidence and you're going to play better too.
Feel good, look good, play good.
They will continue applying the pressure. It took 4.5 minutes, however, they're able to make the play. Look at this placement of the drop wall from Stellar as well. Oh, he is playing some goddamn good Halo right now. 3 dead for Sentinels once again. Bound to last alive and stuck on his tower. It's going to be the overshield coming up. Next point of call for both teams. 10 seconds. Spartan's trying to keep an eye on it.
Was a 1v1 there momentarily from Bound and Spartan. They both know it.
You look at Bound's hair in the player cam.
That's crazy.
Looks ridiculous. He's sitting like 6 inches from his TV too. Somebody said, why does Boo Boo look so small in the player cam? It's because he doesn't sit so fucking close to the screen like everybody else does.
Starts the run. Let's see what these needles do from Penguin. They melt the whole overshield. However, 2 players still alive for
Wow,
SSG.
one super combine takes out
They melt the overshield, but unfortunately,
all the OV.
Sentinels melt all the players, and Sen have this one through the long haul. 2 still dead.
This should be a cap, right? They just have to watch the OE and it should be fine.
Yeah. Really good flag juggling right there.
Notice when he picks up the overshield, he even turns his body away just in case he died. That
All right, so now it's like headed more toward neutral. What do you see teams trying to do like when it's at a neutral state on this map?
Usually try to spread out. You want to have people covering both green and long haul side, but also training and sword side. And then as soon as you get a pick, like advance to the other side as quickly as possible to start controlling spawns. Like that's why Penguin OE'd all the way out here. Was mostly to force the spawns on the other side while his team pushes up. Because if you don't take any space in their base, then the game will naturally spawn you like in a nice spread out formation. So you kind of have to get one side or the other to force the spawns to one side or the other.
Right.
And it's just going to be easier to play against afterwards.
So if the kills do go in the favor of SSG, they will have an opportunity maybe to run it through that courtyard.
But yeah, the neutral state I think is really just playing safe damage, like poke damage, trying to stay alive, and then hopefully isolating a player that overextends or puts himself in a bad position.
This is interesting. Like Sparty knows that Penguin's here. Wow, he checks one. That's a good play.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if the melee like didn't work for Spartan right there, or if he just didn't melee fast enough.
Yeah, really big plays by Penguin there.
Yeah, Plasma Pistol, I think melee's like you could double melee faster with the Plasma Pistol than a lot of other guns.
Lethal just come off respawn as well. Eco's got no shield, but he could not
Appreciate
care less.
that.
He flies in.
Amatera.
Damage. Lethal should be taken down here, but has Bound lost the timing on this flag run. It looks like the call has come from Space Station to slay once more.
Look how long.
Yeah, definitely great plays out of Penguin.
Unbelievable to stay alive as the last player on the cuts. My God, look at the shots from Bound as well. Finally, he's taken down. Finally, it's 3 dead for SSG. Eco's your last player alive, but with the Rockets, who goes for a little bit of splash damage around it. Oh, and he still wins it against the drop shield. Cost him 2 rockets, but it's very nicely done. We'll stay here at 1-1.
Spartan will be pretty happy with that as well. Overshield, though, has gone over to the side of Sentinels. Lethal's got it.
So Sentinels wins the item game right here. So they make Eco burn both rockets. They get out with the overshield. See Lethal moving in this side while Sparty moves in the long haul side.
Last time, less overshield to play with here this time. Nice team shot. Look at Lethal's awareness there. Gets the comms on mid-bridge right away. Snaps to it. Might even win this one on 1v1 and cuts as well.
Ooh, not an easy final shot to hit right there.
Big challenge on the Penguin as well.
Both players jump, and you've got to like swing your reticle upwards to hit that last shot.
Lethal just trying to survive, trying to buy time. He's being tick by those frag grenades.
You know, if Lethal claws, maybe he plays bumper jumper. Actually, he started in the later Halos.
From mid-map towards the courtyard for Space Station, meaning the rest
I guess nowadays people just have jump on like a paddle a lot of the time too.
Yeah, I find it more comfortable on a paddle.
What do you have your paddle set up right now?
My left paddle is well, for infinite, my left paddle is jump, and my right paddle is sprint.
What do you crouch with?
Left stick.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Then when I play the classic Halos, my right paddle is throwing a nade.
Do you have LT on Zoom?
Boxer. I play boxer, so it's melee. So it's melee for infinite too.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like my infinite setup is like a heavily modified boxer, and then like for classic Halos, it's basically just default boxer, and then jump with the paddle.
Makes sense.
See what Stellar does here. It has been an unbelievable highlight reel as another SSG chant erupts in the building. 2:22 left on the clock. SSG with positioning. We'll see if they can make it happen.
The first shot I think I saw Stellar miss in the entirety of this event just a few seconds ago, and you know it's not going to miss the next one.
That was so quick.
Dude.
Spartan, just another victim of
Yeah, I would like to see his settings.
Someone behind him. Falcated, getting chased down. Those scopes not quite connected.
It's like a high sense, but he's able to snap to targets like so fluidly.
So now Stellar knows that. He hears that audio cue, and even though the flag is moving, Stellar's got to deal with Falcated Bound.
Oh.
The bait and Bound.
I mean, I remember what like most pros were playing like at first. Like Stellar was playing like 5 cents. Yeah, I think he was playing like 4 Excel and then 5-5 like at the beginning. I don't know if he changed it, but that's like what he used to play on.
Yeah.
Really important win from him. Really important win from him.
He's been a standout player for so long. Like he's just so good.
When I tested the settings, it seemed like your acceleration should be like somewhere between 1 to 3, but other than that, like your settings didn't matter that much. But I found that 4 acceleration and 5 acceleration were just like a lot worse than 1 through 3.
Yeah, I've played on 1 Excel for a long time. It's just more consistent, I think. They just play higher sensitivity values. There's less variation in turning speed.
Yeah, that's what I like too.
7 seconds left in your game 1, an absolute grueling battle with CTF here.
Sentinels have to go.
Wow.
You've got to go 3, Coke. He picks up one onto Spartan, 2 dead again for Sentinels. Now,
I think he could have maybe heard that plasma nade. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of noise in the. At these tournaments, you don't get as much game audio because of the audio, like, structure. Like the player comms are usually pretty loud, and then obviously the crowd. You're gonna hear some of the crowd. They do have noise canceling headsets that are pumping white noise, but it's not enough. Like, you can still hear a lot of what's going on outside of the headphones.
And even though you want to go forward, Foul, the only place you're going to be going is down 1 in the series.
Someone in chat says 5-10-10. There's no way he plays 5-10-10.
Does that max sense? The max sense?
Yeah, that's max.
No,
that's what Eli X plays on.
Nah, that's
not what Stellar's on though.
Nah.
Eli X is. He's been frying on 5-10-10 for a long time. He played high sense in every Halo.
Need to take time to talk about that eco run. I love talking about the intelligent players in Halo, and I always mention the internal clock that they have in their head, thinking about timing, where a player is on the map, who has a line of sight. Eco recognized that there was a window of opportunity. New map, and of course we'll be crowning a new champion in the Halo Championship Series after this grand final is done. How is Solitude going to play into that? Well, we'll find out in this next game.
So Sentinels just won, or they just barely lost the Solitude against FaZe. That was their only loss against them. So they're about to run it back.
There's some like benefit to that, where like you just played it, so it's like fresh in your mind, and maybe you've had a chance to talk about what went right and what went wrong, but it is pretty hard to adjust on the fly, and it's against a completely different team. So
what is this? The stat they just pulled up saying Stellar's KD is 1.74 in game 2s or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. Yo, Zach with another gifted, adding another 5 minutes. Appreciate you, Zach. This one goes to Malafar. Give her the emotes right now.
All 4 players are trapped in snipe. He's got too many toys to play with at the moment, Stella. He knew where the spawns were coming in. It's a perfect spawn trap coming in from SSG. Unfortunately, for the first time in quite some time, Stella couldn't connect with the snipe, but the frag grenade will do the work for him.
Target-rich environment for Stellar here. Just hitting everything. 5-1 off the opening. He's going to do a full rotate of the sniper as well.
6-2 now.
It seems like what you want to do with the sniper on this map is you want to basically find an angle and take a shot, and then change targets and like rotate around. Like after they know where he is now, if he has any sniper ammo left, he's gonna want to rotate to a different spot.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, you have to think about where you were last called out, and to be deceptive, rotate to a new position. You're more likely to hit a clean snipe without getting pressured by showing up somewhere unexpected or finding like a cheeky angle. There's a lot of deception that goes on.
Yeah. Samish said Stellar has a nasty tournament. Yeah, he was playing really well this tournament for sure.
I'm flanking. I can flank that guy. I can flank blue truck to dip.
I'll answer that in a second. Tetris, want to listen to the listening?
Two dip. Burn it. I'm good. Spawn, go upstairs. We're green side. I'm chilling. I'm watching you, Kevin. I'm watching. Could be in our yard. I'm watching you, Kevin. I'm watching top. I'm looking yard. I think above you, Kevin. Above you. Top board, free kill. He's in the corner. Nice. We got sniper ramp. 2 of them there. Falco's like 2 shots. 2 sniper ramp, guys. You turn in blue truck. Yeah, bottom man.
I think Eco expected more help right there.
You turn and got blue truck.
Probably didn't expect the pressure, like that much pressure too.
Yeah.
Flowers maybe?
Get stickies if they're up. Get stickies.
Look at Thrust and get the time on
I'm getting a snipe.
I'm jumping. Flowers.
Interesting to hear that Elamite say that.
2 there, both weak.
Yeah, so they're prioritizing thrusts. So that way, if they get the thrust, then they can time it.
Yeah, also just like
Make sure they don't spawn snipe.
at this level, the BR fights are so 50-50 that the thrust swinging it to like a 70-30 in your favor is so powerful. Like, you can get through multiple engagements with the thrust. So huge.
Well, as we jump back into the game, and out of the comms, Bound's going to pick up one traded out immediately, but the comeback has come through by Sentinels at the moment. And it's the structure and the
So
discipline.
Tetris in my chat asks, how much do you think the multi-kill content creator skills translate to competitive? I mean, they're actually pretty good at competitive, both Mint Blitz and Eli X. Like, Eli X has a deep understanding of competitive. Like, if you watch him play, he's a good IGL. He knows how to control spawns. I feel like when you're a multi-kill content creator like them, you have to understand spawns pretty well to just hit those clips, you know? Like,
and Eli X has been to tournaments before. Like, he's competed. He's gotten top 24 at tournaments before. Like, he knows how to play as a team.
Yeah, I would team with Eli X. Like, if I came back and competed, like, I think he's a great player. He's even better than he was when he got like top 24 in olden days.
What can he do? That's the question. Stellar challenges. And couldn't quite connect with that shot. 3 kills still the difference between the two teams.
So much H5 pro experience on the stage here. What on the angle?
Wow, that's a really good shot.
Picks up another kill. 26-24 now.
Spawn picks up 2 as well. And
you see him moving towards blue. He doesn't want the other team to spawn over here.
And now you're seeing it become a 1-kill game as Falcated gets a killing spree.
Playing with a lot of confidence there. He's 14-5 this game.
SSG back into a narrow lead here, 29-27. Such a close matchup here in this game number 2.
He got a nair in a 4v4 Pit Slayer game. That's insane.
Level Halo we're seeing at the moment. Nobody missing shots. Everybody flying in. Speaking of flying in,
there's a lot of people that want to like discredit them for being like social players, quote unquote.
Yeah, Samus, those are good players.
They're doing it the smart way. They're making more money than a lot of the like amateur semi-pro type players, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's like just creating, I mean, like when you look at the game like 10 years from now, people are going to remember those clips more than some random tournament where someone got like top 6 or something.
Right, that's a good point.
The more likely he is to survive, and that's exactly what he's done here. Spawn will get 1. Another challenge coming in. Spawn gets 2, but Penguin manages to take down Lethal when it looked unlikely. Boo Boo now alongside Falcated trying to hunt down Penguin, but look at the movement from him. Penguin has done such a good job of baiting himself for SSG here, staying alive this entire time and being such a thorn in the back of so many players.
Almost makes it happen there. Eventually he's
that was a crazy little like circular crowd strafe from Sparty.
That does, however, bring the game up just a little bit more. Increases the SSG lead now 38-34 off of great peeking, baiting, and switching coming in from Penguin.
5 seconds.
Actually surprised to see how much the disruptor is being used after the nerf.
Happy to take this battle with Spawn.
So I don't know, if I use it, it feels worthless, but I guess if you're like, if you have a teammate to shoot with you, the disruptor can probably break shields faster than the BR.
What'd they nerf with it?
They nerfed like every aspect of it. It doesn't chain, it doesn't have damage over time. It pretty much just has like a explosion effect, kind of like the Needler if you just disrupt like 3 times. Oh, nice snipe there.
The shots he's been hitting is just crazy.
I think it goes without saying,
yeah, it's literally all weekend too.
So the damage applies instantly rather than over time now? That sounds like a bug.
So yeah, but it's nerfed. The amount of damage is nerfed though. Like, well, you remember the disruptor would do some damage, but the damage over time was really what made it so good, because like
it kept people weak
them one shot for so long. Yeah. Like the per shot damage I think is the same, and then there's just no damage over time on top of that. So
wow,
it's very weak.
You truly can't.
One more to go here for Sentinels. Space Station, excuse me, looking for that final kill. It's 1 bullet. Maybe in the hands of Bound.
I think everyone was talking about Stellar this tournament, but Bound, like, really stepped up this tournament too. I feel like in a lot of the previous tournaments, he would have like a really good game, and then the next game have like a really bad game because he's like not playing as disciplined as he should or something like that. But felt like he was pretty locked in and disciplined throughout. Oh, I just saw Operant Power in the audience right there. Or Trekkie.
Were you at the tournament? Were you here?
No, I was in Orlando, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Little Operant Power sighting in the crowd there.
And as we see the SSG fans, and a snug feeling helmet, we will say. Safety first. Very, very happy with their team's performance at the to a reset. A long way to go though, and Space Station certainly in the driving seat as we finally head to Streets Off.
When your thing was loading, I was nervous for a second that my internet went out. Occasionally has been doing that lately. Just go out for like 2 seconds.
Starting things off with a man himself. It's stellar.
He goes down as well, nothing picked up. So he knows the battle's going to be going on bottom middle for those rockets, 2 down on either side. Lethal going to be trapped, Bound going to be chasing. Lethal gets taken down, but Boo Boo still has that Stalker rifle. Where do those rockets go? That's the real question. Pretty sure the SSG want to get him, but Spartan, with a little bit of help from Boo Boo Doobu on your screen, is going to turn them in the favor of Sen.
Perfectly timed there with the red gun. He's going to convert on the second rocket.
This game type
Look at the confidence. Boo Boo was your last player alive, by the way.
So mixy. Map is so small, you have to just hit timings constantly. A lot of the time you spawn up and you just have to launch yourself into the fight because your teammates have damage. You need to follow up on the damage.
But the pressure continues to be pushed. You saw Falcated flying forward, gets that important win. 13 points on the board already.
Yeah, Lila brought up the setup, like the main stage setup here versus like when we were in Germany at the CSGO tournament. It was so much different. So different.
Yeah.
That was more like a YouTuber's boxing fight, to be honest with you, than a professional one. But
you didn't go to DreamHack Dallas, did you?
No.
Yeah, so DreamHack was like it's like a huge convention. Like there's a bunch of other shit going on at the same time, but Halo was right next to the Counter-Strike tournament.
Yeah.
And their setup looked way cooler than ours. It was, oh my god. Ruby Hacks with the $50 donation. Holy shit, thank you so much, Ruby.
And just at the right time as well, because not only a Space Station coming off of respawn,
I gotta manually add the time to the thing right now.
This will be a guaranteed 20 seconds.
Bound was your last player alive. He was L. He went.
I don't think it's set up to do it on its own.
Next kills. Bound has taken down. It's continued staggered control from Sentinels. This is going to be really big here.
I wonder if this ball's going to be rotated as well. Booby's pushing up aggressively. Maybe a little bit too aggressively. Manages to get the trade, however, and it does create the opportunity for Spartan to move in and get the biggest weapon on the map. The rockets are in the hands of Sentinels as well as that oddball.
Got the boom booms with only 1 boom left. It has not translated to a ton of time, if we're honest. Sentinels here with a 15-point lead, but with the control, you thought they might have even eked out a bit more.
Crazy the timing, right? Obviously, we can see the player outlines. We can see Spartan looks away from Bound just the right time, but reacts to a call out perfectly to still use that rocket effectively. 32 points still on the board. 17 points between the 2 teams. Oddball is down in an awkward position for both teams to fight for at the moment.
Who am I chatting with? With Eli the Ninja?
Give an opportunity for Sentinels just to tiptoe forward and think about getting that objective.
An opportunity here for advantage and also leading for the first time in quite some time into this series here. Lethal sneaks away with the ball. Let's get into a listen in here with Sentinels.
One shot, Bound. I got 2 dead.
Last 2
I've got
2 front C walking P1.
Yeah, they know I'm here. They know I'm here.
2 P1 fast, fast.
They're coming. Get rid of it.
I got a melee on 1. I probably spawned.
Just one A-gen. There's 2 there.
I naded.
We'll keep spawning over here with you.
Higher gen maybe?
Yeah. What's your stalker? One's arcade. Back A.
I have shots.
Gonna be plants. One second.
Back A, we 2 there.
Dude, just try to live, Justin. Trying.
Plants.
One shot arcade. Is there a shroud? All's 1 shot as well. Music with 1 shot, never died.
Nah, I kept the 1. Oh, you might.
Like that. Shroud down arcade. There's shroud down arcade for rockets. Yeah, rockets. Get that shroud for the rockets.
Rocks up at 20. If shroud.
I think he picked it up.
No, it's down arcade music. It's down.
Okay.
One shotty window.
On laundry to tires.
One mid.
Pushing me tires.
I fell behind for rockets, guys. No easy deaths here. No easy deaths.
Caution. 1 shot. I got
nice numbers for rockets. 5.
Can you get rockets with shroud? Ball's 1 shot. Ball's 1 shot and one's back A.
Alright, we have rocks.
All dead.
Yo,
ATM,
ATM 1 shot.
I hit him with a rocket.
He's trying ATM to
You're alone.
One shot benches.
Keep all time, Mike.
Got it. Still benches.
That's 1B. They're gonna be a lot cafe, I think. Let's be real on me.
Yeah, one's going drive.
This game type's been in the rotation from the start. Have you seen any changes with this game type over time? Like for how people play it, or has it been pretty much the same?
Well, it's SSG who momentarily managed to come back in this round and get themselves into a lead, but this response from Sentinels has been pretty strong as well.
Okay, well, sorry, I didn't realize my thing was still muted. I think it's been pretty much the
Yep.
I guess the main difference is the ammo nerfs that happened at some point for the Bulldog and the Stalker, so you don't have to I guess, prioritize those weapons as much, plus the fact that they respawn 60 seconds after ammo depletion instead of just 15 like it was before.
Yeah.
So I think nowadays the game type is more like setup oriented, and it just comes down to the team that is able to get the most out of each of their setups and breaks.
So you'll see the setup on the A side, and you'll see the setup on the C side, and then sometimes you'll see rotates like around like purple or B. That's pretty much how this game type plays out.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a few more A setups than there used to be. I think back in the earlier days, the C setup was a lot more prominent, and now it seems like it's probably evenly split between A and C. It's just like
whatever
the teams are just adapting to, it's just adapting to this situation at hand, and where you're like you basically just rotate the ball towards where your teammates are spawning, because that tells you the enemies are on the other side, basically.
Yeah.
For Sentinels, otherwise there might have been an opportunity to rotate that ball back towards spawners. Stella going to pick up one. It's a 2v2 now, and what's the play call? Is it back in the tram? Is it to hold? It looks like there wasn't one. And Falcate just gets left on an island.
Thanks again, Ruby. That was extremely kind of you.
Stellar perfectly times his nade, and he perfectly times his team shot as well. Rockets are up.
Bound's going to get him. And SSG look like they might be able to go into the lead if Bound can put these to use. Falcate gets
this map is just so much about controlling like all the lanes, or at least two of the lanes at the same time, and like predicting which lane the enemies are coming from, and then cutting them off on the way to the ball guy.
So can teams get access to these like the theater of these games?
I think I've heard that the only way you can get into the theater mode is if you were on the same server that it was played on, which is like the LAN server that they generate at the tournament.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be a way to like analyze and break down games from theater mode.
And that's exactly what they have done. It was a momentary 3 dead.
By the way, chat, the theater mode is so powerful in this game. Like, if you just play the game non-stop, you're not getting full value out of the game as far as improvement goes. It's like you can just literally watch any game in theater and just look at where everyone spawns. And like every single time someone spawns, just pause it and look at where people are on the map and figure out why they spawned where they spawned.
We definitely slept on that back in the day for Halo 3. Having access to theater, like other teams would watch film. Like I know Walshy would watch film a lot, like in Halo 3 back in the day. But all my teams basically slept on it. We never watched film.
Well, you remember what we would do is like we would do a night of scrims or matchmaking. At the end of the night, like just take turns showing off like the cool clips and shit that we got.
Yeah. We'd like show off like, oh, I was playing well this game. Let's watch this. Like we wouldn't watch like, oh, well, we messed up here. We should have done this instead. Like that's where you get the most value out of film. Like seeing,
like why you lost.
Yeah.
Who silenced the crowd for just a few moments.
Total chaos, total
Why think when we could just shoot more gooder?
My goodness, the Sentinels
Exactly.
managed it perfectly.
Theater overrated.
Each death, making sure to maintain control of Tram. Also, how about Sparky?
No, it's like even better in this game. I think one thing we did do though was like look at all the maps in Forge in Halo 3 to like see where all the spawn points were.
Yeah.
We did do stuff like that at least.
Before Forge was out in this game, like, cause you know I've like shot a lot of bots in this. Like I would shoot a lot of bots in training mode and on Halo Infinite, right? And before Forge came out, like there was a glitch that happened a few times when I was playing training mode, where like basically there would be a BR spawn on the ground where every single spawn point was on the map. Like after I played like for like an hour or two, it would happen. So I would see literally every spawn point on the map in training mode. There would be a BR on the ground where every single spawn point is.
I never knew about that. What the?
Yeah, I recorded it too. Like it happened on a few maps, like on Live Fire and on Streets. Like I literally saw where every single spawn was on the map, because there would be a BR on the ground. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's going to be weak, and the perfect shots from Penguin are enough to keep Space Station entering.
Baldur's Gate 3 stream win? I don't know.
The last player alive needs to win that one. Pressure coming in from back tram.
I haven't thought much about getting it yet.
Penguin doing it all at the moment.
A few people have been talking to me about it though.
The crowd's starting to get a little bit louder here. They can feel this control, and they can see Penguin doing what he's doing in the moment. Finally,
Falcated
gets both. Stopped, but Falcated, like you say, gets both in that situation and comes away with the oddball for Sentinels.
Silence is not only the SSG chant, but also the SSG hold. Falcated, your last player alive with a perfect back tram nade to get a double kill. Absolutely spoils the party.
What do you think of the Shroud?
It's interesting. It's mostly used as like an escape option, I feel like right now, or to like secure rockets or overshield. I think there's definitely some like interesting use cases for it, but I don't know. I think it's kind of boring in some ways, but so is like the drop shield to me as well. Like some of the equipment's just like not super interesting. Can actually make like the fight for items boring if like one team just has the Shroud and they just get the item for free, you know?
Yeah.
In a way, it actually increases the value of power positions that were already powerful. Like C was already a good place to be when rockets came up, but now that the Shroud is also right there next to C, like it just further increases your odds of getting rockets. And then same story for live fire. Yeah, live fire with OS, like tower was already the best part of the map to be when it's coming up. Now it's even better because the Shroud's there.
On these pink stairs, nobody can push without being damaged. 51 points halfway to tying this game up and taking this round away.
Eco just dodging these nades here on the ATMs, waiting for the push to come in. It's a good melee. He gets on lethal. 2v2 on the map. Bounds your last player alive on the push.
Good play by Eco there. It's very underrated to get the melee damage in. Like, if you're going to die, getting a melee on someone is huge. Taking them down in one shot, because they'll be one shot for so long.
Yep.
2v2 right now, but you can see the Rockets.
Yeah, people ask me like how I deal so much damage every game, and it's because I mean, anytime I'm about to die, I do whatever it takes to deal maximum damage before I die, just to make the play that much easier for my teammates. Whether that's like shooting out a death grenade or getting a melee if I'm close enough.
Yeah, landing a nade on someone or meleeing someone is basically the equivalent of, like, you know, 4 body shots of the BR instantly.
Yeah.
I like that play, especially with a 66-37 lead. Shrouded, grab both rockets, get the 1 kill. With the second one, play it safe. Get the second kill as well. However, as a result, we do see more points on the board coming in for Sentinels, now down by less than 20.
Lethal with a beautiful flank here, should be able to clean up. Penguin does so, however, he's going to have a 1v1 with Eco. He's going to have to try and win. Eco backs up. Lethal sees more help coming, so plays his life. But look at the score, Andy. 66 points. As Bound takes down Lethal. And it's only going one way here. SSG, control of the tower, control of the oddball, and control of the map as well.
They've responded in a huge way.
The Eco's pushed up a little bit here, getting some damage and getting some info, while the ball is being held on the other side.
And all of a sudden, with just 20 points needed to tie this game up, SSG look like they're getting back into this one.
I like this route from Eco. If you go tired, you get caught.
Yeah, Eco does a really good job of like just holding space,
Still being racked up.
applying pressure, just making it that much harder for the enemies to push a certain lane. Like he's not in comfortable enough position to actually get a kill, but just like dealing damage and backing down, dealing damage, like keeps them away for even longer, waste their time. Eco does a really good job of being the smartest player in the game every game. He's definitely an extremely smart player. I think he sees the game a lot differently than most people.
If SSG takes this round, they will take the game and go up 3-0. However, Sentinels can make it a very, very different story.
Space Station roster has just been so good every step of the way, and feels like when they want to be the best, they just can be the best.
I'm gonna have go myself. 3 dead off the rip. Might be 4 here. Boo Boo trying to dance around the pillar, but Eco's gonna send him to sleep.
Eco now aware that there might be pressure coming.
Pretty cool that they win their own event though.
Instead, just gonna hold front base. I love this.
Optic got top 6 at their event.
Pre-nade. Unfortunate for him. And now Spartan with the red gun. Here comes the push onto V-Rails. Oh my Penguin.
Wow, what a stick. That was 2 sticks.
And Sentinel's more than happy to oblige.
It was 2 back to back.
Watch that too. That's like watching clips, moments from disaster. Bound picks up another one. Penguin with just 2 perfect sticks on V-Rail.
Wow, Bound's like
and as a result, 29
movement has always been so good. It's like quickly gets out of situations, just in and out. He's just YYing constantly like the psychopath.
Penguin, even though he's down, we're back on the map before. Lethal will rejoin. Another kill here for Bound. He's starting to rack him up.
Isn't it kind of funny that the players like him YY so much in this game when it has like no real value versus like
yeah,
the YY was
well, do you know, well, people do it like out of habit, like as a fidget habit, but there's also like another benefit is that you get more FOV because your gun disappears. So that's, I think subconsciously, that's like why that they're doing it. Like, because you can see more, like, while you're YYing, since you can your gun disappears. That's, like, subconsciously why they're doing it, but they probably also think it's because they're fidgeting, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely just push a lot of buttons to push them.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It's just like it's a habit from older Halos.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, when it comes to, like, the older Halos, like, I typically, like, every button combo I do is normally, like, you know, on purpose. Like, I'm doing everything with a purpose. And I have been, like, when I've been playing Halo 3 more, I have been YYing more to, just for that reason, to get to see, like, your whole screen.
Makes sense.
Make it 90. SSG are getting closer.
Look at this, 2 down already. This is it. This is it. This is going to be the game.
So glad this sliding back to do the cafe boxes to tires across the middle lane. Yeah. The sliding feels so good in the game now. Wow, Eco just milking every second perfectly to win the shutout round.
As SSG move within 1 game. Beat your champs.
Bound is so close. He plays just like Squilly, where he plays really close and tilts the monitor up.
Yeah. Them zoomers, man. That's what they do.
And the SSG chants continue in the building. They are 1 game away.
Yeah, thanks again for all the support today, guys.
Finally getting
Gonna be a long stream now because of you guys.
We saw in the documentary on him. He was saying,
I think it's just as close as Fear itself, Samus. I think so.
You have nothing to prove.
Yeah, well, Fear was the only one doing it back in the day.
They are so close. They can taste it.
Can you think of anybody else that sat like that?
Nah, not that close.
Yeah, he was like legit smelling his monitor.
Yeah, I think Macchio might have been close, but not that close. No one was that close for sure.
Yeah.
He just
Summon's
had
a pretty
big
nasty
ones.
sniper with M&K. Yeah, no, he's very good. Oh, there's Dreki again.
I don't think they've ever lost it, to be honest with you. So
Dreki was sitting in the middle.
got to be feeling confident to see live fire, strongholds in front of them right now.
This is Yilmite's first win as a coach too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Final on 1 game away.
This is the best that Space Station Gaming has looked, without a doubt. Now only 1 game away from closing out your grand final, and they're going
I feel like Stronghold should be played more. It seems like it's not played that often.
Yeah, the way they structure it, the best of 5s is obviously the 2 Slayers for game 2 and 5, and then games. It seems like they always try to have a flag in the rotation somewhere as either game 1 or 3. And then it's just the other 2 slots are for 2 time-based modes, and there's 3 time-based modes. So it's either King, Strongholds, or Oddball. So in some series, there's just no Strongholds at all.
So basically, the flags and the Slayers are the most important to be good at. So like if you're a team practicing, you want to be like, and that's the crazy part is like Slayers are so important, and then like the teams that are scrimming don't scrim Slayers. Like the top teams, a lot of times don't even scrim Slayers. That's crazy to me. Like,
yeah,
if you're
starting to play them more, but you're right, they're played the least for sure.
Yeah, if you're an AM team like trying to improve, don't try to be cool and say don't play Slayers. Like you need to be playing Slayers. You need to be playing flags. Like flags and Slayers are the most important with that structure.
Finally, he's taken down, but how about Bound crouch walking on C-Plat to send Boo-Boo's overshield straight off the map without any contest?
It's the kind of play that completely deflates you as a
So,
team. You got to have some
like, obviously I was coaching all of last year, so I was kind of like, it's kind of in tune with the pros' thought process to not scrim slayers. And I guess the main thing was that nobody was really playing slayers the same way in scrims as they do in the tournament, because like
yeah, I know, because they're saying they don't try as hard or whatever. Yeah, whatever. But like that's not an excuse. Like you need to still, like, everyone should be trying in the game, you know, like that.
Yeah,
if that's the case, well, you know, I guess people shouldn't try in OBJs too online since it's not a tournament. Like it just doesn't, the logic doesn't make sense.
No, I agree with you. It's because like teams just do more like I guess like sneaky or like passive plays when there's more on the line, whereas like online, like think about it too, if you've been playing, if they scrimmed all the slayers and all the game types, it's like 17 game types, so the scrim is very long.
Yeah, you definitely have to like pick and choose for sure.
Like pace yourself, and like if you're on game 10 and you're playing a slayer, or like game 12 out of 17, like are you really gonna treat it like it's back against the wall game 5? Like probably not. You're not gonna like treat it the same way. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean if you're like a top team, you're able to do that though. Like you're able to treat a scrim online like it's the finals for, you know, thousands of dollars. Like you have to be able to have that mindset if you want to be like the best.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is the coach maybe deciding to, like, okay, this scrim we're gonna do these slayers, next scrim we're gonna do these slayers, you know, and kind of like spread it out so you're not doing all 17 game types, but you're still getting good practice in. And
that's, yeah, I mean, from scrimming so much, I think the limit is like around, like, I think you should be doing around like 10 to 11 game types. I don't think you should go more than that for one scrim. That way it gives you, like, if you're doing 17 in a row, it's rough. That much, like, using that much brain power at a high level, like, back to back with no breaks is not easy, and you're not going to get much out of it.
Yeah, you get a lot more out of, wow, that was a crazy trade right there. You get more out of like less games but more film time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good trade there in the end. Stellar will make sure he doesn't get fully clipped. Falcated, still a lot of overshield here to play with. 98 to 39 on the board.
Chasing down players as well, gets one.
Really good nade there.
There is a player at back B that they have to deal with here. And Lethal doing what he can, is going to get the conversion, and they get the kills as well. Now, sniper rifle, overshield. This is what you need to put to use, but the melts are coming in from Space Station. Eco and Stella trying to.
Have you seen any like any type of like meta shift for which points to hold on this map?
I think that it's just faster pace now, where like going for the trip cap is good for sure, like at all times, but you have to be hyper aware of like which spawns you're opening or blocking like every step of the way, keeping track of like when enemies are respawning so you know where they spawned. But if you're gonna hold 2, then BC is definitely the best. I think that's kind of been the case forever though. Like BC is just better the way the map is laid out, because you can kind of play defense for both at the same time if you hold like the pivot point and nest throughout.
Gotcha.
But like sometimes you're forced to cap A because you spawn there and then you just play out from there.
Yeah, it's so hard to block the A spawns too because they're so deep.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just want to let them spawn up.
Yep.
Finds out the Spartan's got a plasma pistol.
Eventually he's taken down, goes for the mini-me grab, can't make it happen. 114 to 82 now. Space Station continuing to score here, and once again, as you said, what looked like it was going to be Sentinels.
What I do notice is a lot more teams are going out through the overshield side to rotate like from A to C or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like they're favoring using this lane. They don't want to try to go out big door
right
to get to B. Like it's just better to go for C most of the time.
Yeah, you can do more out of it, especially if you like double up and send 2 at the same time.
But they need to
Yeah.
make the most of this. This is a situation now.
And then teams like FaZe are using the bottom middle route more than like just about every other team, it feels like.
They need to be aggressive here, Sentinels. They need to put the pressure back onto Space Station.
Which I kind of like. I don't know, to be the only team that does something a little bit different off your rotation.
Yeah,
But after a while, it becomes predictable, right?
Right, yeah, it's when teams have figured it out, it doesn't work anymore. But the advantage of going bottom mid like first is that it's efficient, so like you're getting a lot out of your life if you're doing it right away. You're not wasting any time. That's like the advantage of it. But if they predict it, then it's kind of a counterintuitive. It just ends up not being efficient, just wasting time if they know you're going to be there.
Yeah. Efficiency is so crucial in high-level Halo.
And that's what, like when I'm playing matchmaking and I'm playing with like the randoms in matchmaking, that's what they don't really get is like you need to hold forward to the good positions on the map. You need to hold forward to get to your teammates. Like instead they're like walking and wandering around, like going to the wrong spots, but you just have to be a presence on the map and you have to get to teammates. And get to your teammates that are a huge presence on the map.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I do find a lot of people like tiptoe their way across the map sometimes when they should be flying. It's like, yeah, you want to tiptoe when you're in neutral and like neither team has the advantage and you want to like poke and get safe damage until you can get a pick. But as soon as your team has a numbers advantage, like you have to use that advantage to get items on the map like ASAP.
I think that's the concern here, right, for Sentinels. They're getting overshield after overshield and they're still losing this game. Oh, it's big. They get another one here. Spartan's going to use it this time. Falcate got the last two. But the pressure is on C already from Space Station. You can see the triple cap is what they went for. The overshield now is out of there. And even with the situation where they don't get the overkill,
see Sparty go for so many insta-splodes. It is really good right now in the meta.
Challenge C plat out of nowhere. 2 dead here for SSG. Look at B and C also flipping C.
I think in one of the patches,
all eyes on B for this flip.
I think in one of the patches they actually made insta-splodes like more consistent or like easier to hit.
A lot of people don't know that jump that Eco just did. You can do that jump without manualing. So you can do that jump without jumping on the sandbag to jump up. You don't have to manual either.
You have to just crouch.
No, you just go to the right side of it. There's like it's just higher up on the right side. You can just jump right up there without manualing. Wow, that's like the game right there. When something like that happens in game, like that's you basically just win the game.
Call the police, Bravo says.
That is insult to injury. I don't even know what to say.
Penguin with
the double mind the gap, making them look silly.
Fun fact, if anybody in chat doesn't know, Bravo, the commentator, used to be a coach and coached to be in Gunshot. Didn't he coach us at like 2 events?
It was either 1 or 2. It was he coached us at that Orlando event. Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been an incredible performance with yet another sniper rifle headshot.
He was coaching, I think, in Halo 2 as well.
I think the SSG chant says it all. 10 points to go as they look to close out the game and the tournament.
Yeah, he's a good player too, so I mean, like that, like I think you have to be like a good player to be a good coach too.
Yeah.
They know how close they are, but
You have to have some. I mean, not always, but you have to at least understand like what makes a good player a good player.
Yeah.
And being a good player, it obviously makes that easier to understand.
Right.
This might be the tournament right here.
I mean, that's the case now. Pretty much every coach that's a coach now is a good player, right? It's just pretty much how it is.
Was a good player. Yeah.
This final might be over. SSG have something to say about it.
Like you have Elamite and Lunchbox coaching. They're like multiple tournament champions, for example.
Oh
Like,
yeah. The experience of winning is very valuable for sure.
Eco's still stuck on the back pillar. Stella trying to flank as well. Bound gets one as well, and SSG might have just slowed down the kills.
Hoaxer's a good player too. Great coach.
Stella pushing forward. They all going in on B.
Oh boy, and now with the drop down at B, he should be able to get away. He waits.
Oh my god.
Patience in these situations is what makes champions. B.
CC, what are you doing?
Spartan flies in. Spartan eliminated. but it's 248. That's not 250. That ain't gonna win you the game.
Contest. 1v1 here at B.
Lethal still inside. Lethal gets the kill. Lethal gets the flip as well and bound now. He finds one. Lethal is dealt with. It's 3 dead for Sentinels, and surely this has to be the moment where finally SSG take to the stars.
Wow, dominant 4-0 in grand finals.
In front of a home crowd.
I think my biggest takeaway from the tournament is that SSG and like the top teams are so close that there's just minor things that can be the decision maker for who wins the match. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
it could be a play. It could be knowing, you know, like we talked about earlier, like knowing someone's starting strat or what they're trying to do. Like how you called out earlier that FaZe goes bottom mid a lot, and Sentinels kind of caught on to that. Like knowing things like that. Sometimes the matches are won in the scrims, like before the tournament, knowing how teams play and things like that.
A first title, a first championship. Give it up for SSG.
You could not write.
The venue looks pretty cool. Are they in like a basement? Like,
just yesterday for the first time hearing about his story.
Looks like some type of like auditorium.
Yeah, maybe.
And the man that was holding that trophy for just a few seconds.
A little kid.
One of the most insane.
Bunch of little kids. Are they supposed to be family members of some of the players because they're in the very front?
I think that's the is that the guy that owns Space Station or something?
Unit or whatever. That might be him. Yeah.
Incredible hometown crowd here. On their feet for a 4-0.
It's a cool looking venue.
Grand finals victory.
Oh yeah.
It's a Space Station statement. The Guardians of the grand final. Finally don't have to watch someone else pick up the trophy. They get to do it themselves in front of the home ground. I mean, it's been an incredible tournament, Andy. Absolutely amazing.
It is.
What was your biggest takeaway from rewatching it?
SSG taking their first tournament in such a dominant fashion. In front of a Salt Lake City crowd. You couldn't write a better story.
I mean, what you said is very true. It just comes down to like plays that were made. In my opinion, like the game is solved now to the point where it is just counter strategies for the most part. Like everyone knows what they are supposed to do in just about every situation, but there's like a few deviations from the strategy to be like deceptive or sneaky or like be unpredictable. And like when players get away with those, they give themselves like a slight edge for a short period of time, which can lead to winning the full game. So or just like honestly just hitting shots like Stellar, dude. If he's just deleting players off the map instantly with the sniper, like those plays add up a lot over time because it's hard to do objective if you're dead, you know?
For sure.
Honestly, this win obviously means a lot to Adam. It's his first win, but for me personally, it's nice to win with someone who hasn't won yet versus playing with a bunch of people who have. So I feel like this one means more than my first one.
Type that without copying and pasting. That is impressive.
Give it up for Bound, everybody.
Ozma Namsa.
Gods and yeah, shout out all the bands.
They truly are. They truly are. Here, I'm gonna take this mic here. Pass this one down the line, okay? But I want to talk to Bound, because Bound, you were a phenomenon online, okay?
This is his first LAN win.
League in Raleigh. It has been 595 days since you've been a professional, and you get your first
595.
title. Talk to me about how that feels.
I mean, it's cliche to say it, but I don't even know how to feel right now. I mean, it's just like, this is real. Like, holy shit, these are real people. This isn't a dream. Like, it's, wow, it feels insane.
It is. And we got a chance to, watch the documentary, and you were saying how you came out of school and you said, you know what,
nice.
I want to be a professional.
Well, that was cool.
I want to give it everything in
Yeah.
which I got.
Thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah, I'm down to do it again sometime. Like, I think it would be cool to do like maybe a film review or something on stream together for like with actual theater, watching like maybe a viewer or something.
Yeah, we could do that.
I've seen some like AM teams like tweet out something similar to that. So I think that would be really, really cool to like work with an AM team where we just like watch them play and then see, just give them our feedback.
Yeah, we could do that. You want to tell people a little bit about what we were talking about with the podcast?
Not yet.
Okay. Might have something cooking up, but it's not ready quite yet. So we'll hold off on the details.
Yeah, I talked to Mike about it, and he's cool with everything. So we'll roll it out soon enough.
This doesn't feel real.
Sounds good, man.
We could win with Bound.
Well, cool. Were you gonna play it all today?
I might play later. I'm gonna take a break and get some food, and then I'll be back later tonight.
All right, word. If you want to hop in customs, just hit me up, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, you too. Later.
All right, peace.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm gonna be streaming later today. I'll be playing probably Halo 3 probably Halo 3 later, maybe Halo 2. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.
I'm gonna say it, all right? Because this is the MVP of the tournament.